The contest keyword is Bill, B-I-L-L. You have until 25 minutes after the hour to enter it on the Fanatic app or at 975thefanatic.com, or you can text it to the special contest short code 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in this company-wide contest. Winners will get a call from Beasley, so be sure to answer your phone. Contest rules at 975thefanatic.com. Fanatic Parlay Cash is stood up by Iron Mountain Men's Health. 5 chances to win each weekday, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 3 and 5 p.m. Again, the text word or the keyword is Bill, B-I-L-L. Your next chance to win with us. Coming at noon today.
Middays with Marks. The voices you trust. John Marks, Sean Brace, and Ray Dunn. All Philadelphia, all day. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Oh, man, don't let us get hot. Because we're hot. We live and we hot, as somebody once said. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. Good morning, everybody listening on the radio, on the 97.5 The Fanatic app. Great way to listen worldwide, wherever, whenever. And, of course, good morning on YouTube, all of our live chatters joining the community of chatters and viewers on our YouTube page. Just make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic. As we say good morning to Mr. Flyer himself, Ray Damon. Hi, Raymond.
Oh, I'm fired up, man. I'm so pucked up. I'm losing my mind. This is amazing.
Are you wearing the same Flyers zip-up that everybody else at the station has?
We got it one day for the morning show. Back in the day, I was filling in. It was the best day of work I had that entire year.
I didn't realize that you guys all had the same thing. And then when you all wore it, it's like, oh, so you all got the same freebie from the Flyers.
Correct. I got to sit in a meeting that day. That was very early on in my tenure.
Well, listen, I would say people should go out to your broadcast coming up on Sunday at Rally House and pick up some new Flyers gear.
I would be
You know
on
what?
that.
I'm going to. I need new Flyers gear to wear. As we say good morning, to a guy who's doing the show today, if you're watching on YouTube, standing on his head, Sean Brace. Good morning, Sean.
Oh, don't let us get hot, as you just said, John. And, man, this team is really turning it on at the right time of the year. You heard me yesterday. I asked a simple question. Simple question.
We're simple.
Maybe this team is good.
They looked good last night.
Look at the numbers from since the break. Look at the numbers. Look at the record. Everything is there in front of you. Maybe this team just needed a little bit of a breather because they lost 12 of 15 heading into the Olympic break. And then since then, they are just winning at, 16-5-1 since the Olympic break.
That's all the Flyers need is an Olympic break every year, and they go on a run.
You tell me if this team isn't a good squad right here, right now.
Yeah, last night was really what maybe some fans that are just coming on right now or some casual fans or diehard Flyers fans, they scored early.
Wow.
They were fun. There was excitement. There was speed. You could feel the juice from them. They're on the road, too. This isn't even a home game, but a lot of Flyers fans up there last night, too. But, man, like there was excitement. You could hear with the announcers. We're going to play Tim Saunders, the goal calls, coming up here in our second segment, and I've heard a couple of them. But there's legitimate excitement for this team. And, Sean, I'm really, really happy today. And, well, there's another story that's out there, and I'm actually not even happy about it. It's actually kind of sad. I'm more angry than happy with Diana Rossini. But, you know who I'm happy for today?
Who?
Flyers fans.
Absolutely.
Philadelphia sports fans. I know a lot of diehard Flyers fans or big-time Flyers fans feel a certain way when the Flyers are actually good, and now everybody's like, oh, yeah, come on, no, let's go. That's a good thing because you're going to appreciate this more than somebody who hasn't been living and dying with this team for however many years. That's been following the young players that have been following the losses and watching every game. I can relate. I'm like that with the Phillies. I watched every game from Pete McCannon, and it was painful, right? But that's what you do when you're a fan. And you don't pick and choose which teams you love and which teams you don't love. You just love them. And for the Flyer fan that's out there that hasn't seen a Stanley Cup in their lifetime, you could be 50 years old and not have seen a Stanley Cup in your lifetime. Mm-hmm. That's a long time. And the last however many years with some playoff droughts and not having some success in the playoffs or even making the playoffs, this has to be really sweet for the Flyer fan. And that's who I'm most happy for today. By the way, they're not in the playoffs.
Nope.
I have to say that because I don't want to be the jinx.
Still got a little ways to go.
So I'm seeing, I don't know what your site is for for your playoff probabilities. I've seen anywhere from 60 to 65%. I know John Clark said 70 last
Yeah,
night.
I saw that on Instagram too as well. I was unable to find 70%, but man, this team is really putting it on. And as you said, like I'll just keep it simple with you. And you're so spot on about the diehards, or not even the diehards, but the people that have been covering the team for these past few
media
years.
too, yeah.
Like I feel, I saw my guy Keith Walsh pop up on my timeline. Jordy from Barstool. Russ, who's going to join us.
Russ Joy joins us
These
at
guys
11.
have been covering this team forever, and it's like, man, I feel for you guys. I really do.
Bill Matz, Charlie O'Connell, everybody that has been doing this for a long
Correct.
time from every different outlet. I mean, this is also for you too, because they're Flyers fans.
Absolutely. So that's the first thing that goes through my mind. Like I said, keeping it simple though last night. Let me just bring you into the Brace household. I sit down on the couch at about 6:55, settle in 7 o'clock. I'm excited for a Flyers game. I put expectations on a Flyers game. And not only did they deliver, they kicked the Devils' ass.
Yeah, they did.
As an underdog. 5-1 final score. Game never in doubt. It was 2-1. Yeah, you got a little tight there for a second. But clearly, and to your point, there are people that cover this team that said, man, that wasn't their most crisp game from an X's and O's perspective. That's fine. I don't care. Survive and advance at this point in time. Because right here, right now, John, it is a playoff game. Last night was a playoff game. The rest of the season is a playoff game. Like, this is go time. So, like I said, man, I settle in. I put expectations on a Flyers game, and they deliver. A Philadelphia sports team delivered with expectations not named the Philadelphia Eagles.
Go figure.
I'm floored.
No, like you said, you texted the group chat. I'm watching Flyers postgame right now.
Yes.
And by the way, you may think that it's our job to watch Flyers postgame. I get that a lot. Like it's your job to know more about it. I ain't watching a lot of Flyers postgame, Sean.
That's where, we get all the money from. We get those, the X's and O's, the terminology we learn in the postgame. We take that to the air.
But to your point, I was not only watching the game, I was looking at the clock. I was anticipating the game. I'm telling the kids, because they're like, oh, well, I want to watch Jesse, which is the show on Disney from like 15 years ago. And I'm like, no, we're not watching Jesse. The Phillies aren't. Normally the Phillies go on. I'm like, no, we're watching. So it's like, no, we're watching the Flyers. And my oldest daughter, her first grade teacher was the Flyers are my favorite team. Like Nate Tennyson, for Negative Nate back there, our associate producer. All right?
Negative Nate.
He's a Flyers guy first.
He is.
He's a marathoner and a Flyers guy.
Is he a Flyers or a Union guy first? Because he's in that world.
He's in the world of.
If it's 50 degrees or above, he's a Union guy. 50 degrees or below, he's a Flyers guy.
Well, we'll say he's a Flyers guy.
But really, like that's what it's about. But so now we're watching the Flyers, and I've been guilty of this. I get pumped up for it. And I'm like, all right, let's watch. And then the game sucks, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm out. After the win again, I watched the game against the Ducks. It's like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like the house, it felt like the '90s Flyers all over again. It felt like Keith Primeau, early 2010 Flyers, and then they went on like an extended. I think they lost 5 straight games after that.
Yeah.
So
they've been through some tough stretches,
right? And that seems to have been as me trying to get back in as being in on them, and then it's like, oh, all right, well they're losing. This sucks. Last night delivered. They scored early. There was energy. It was fun. My kids are watching the game, loving it.
Devils are a good team. I think they have 40 wins. They're in pursuit of a playoff spot.
They were playing for their playoff lives last night.
They got good names on that squad. You're in their barn, right? Like the Devils, I want to go back in the day. Sure, Marty Bedore and company, they always, I feel like, came out on top of the Flyers.
Scott Stevens, he didn't end Eric Lindros's career. He ended Eric Lindros's career.
Now we're cooking.
And his Flyers career. And that was like Lindros had his head down. Back then you would go after guys' heads.
It's just fun, man. And
I hated those.
We're a long ways to go. I'm not trying to say that this is it, but I feel really good about what I saw last night. And again, from the Olympic break, this team is putting it together.
But they looked confident last night. They went up there, and I had said this yesterday because Russ and I were texting. Is this game where you go up there and you're like, man, we're awesome. Everybody's telling us how great we are. And then the Devils, who were fighting for their playoffs, they beat. No, the Flyers came out and kicked their ass early.
Yep.
And it was great.
Zegras.
Man, good trades, front office. Now you're seeing good moves by the front office. And by the way, Rick Tocchet, and I'm not going to be the guy that says, did you want to fire Rick Tocchet now? Man, there was calls to fire Rick Tocchet.
And it was unfair then, and like I'm not in the minutia. I'm not in that world.
Yeah, I'm gonna let those people do that.
But it was clearly unfair, though. Give the guy an opportunity.
Well, I mean, they've turned the season around. That's for sure. Now, let him finish the job.
Yeah,
We're
look.
going to be firing him.
Yeah, but you
again,
can't
Ray.
fire somebody like that. This isn't Manchester United. This isn't Real Madrid. It's the Flyers. You can't be firing head coaches like that.
Yeah, with 5 games left in a season like Marty.
Yeah, give these guys a chance.
Or Patrick Roy.
Yeah.
Not Marty Brodeur.
There you go.
All right, Ray. So listen, we're going to play. You have the goals ready to go?
Pucked up.
All right. Tim Saunders' calls from last night, sitting in his seat, calling the game and making the calls on 97.5 The Fanatic. Also, we have the 76ers tickets for the final game of the season. All right, we're doing it with the most creative voice memo. So get in with your Flyers voice memo, 610-632-0975. That's also the Davis Honda text line, 610-632-0975. And the phone line, all the same number, 610-632-0975. The most creative, you heard yesterday's show, the most creative song or whatever you put on the text line wins Sixers tickets to the final game of the season. We had a couple of great entries yesterday. We'll get more today. And then the best over the course of the 2 shows will win. That's at the end of the show. But coming up next, we have the goal scores from the game last night, and we'll start to get into the biggest story of the NFL offseason. It here, and it broke last night. Middays with Marks, 97.5. John Marks, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn.
Real quick, Tommy John in the YouTube chat said Brace can't even name 5 Flyers. Tommy John,
we did yesterday.
Did it yesterday. I named 6. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
So here's
all love.
What's his name? Tommy John?
Tommy John.
Yo, Tommy John. So he uses John.
I think he's having fun with it. The YouTube chat is a ball busting community.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. So thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. Maybe I like people, just like we don't want people to take us too seriously as far as the stuff. Maybe we need to do the same.
I mean,
for the others.
Who's the dude that kills me? Money Mar. Thank you.
Well, no, Money Mar complains about AJ Brown's not getting traded. Jalen Hurts the best thing ever. You can't have like every contrarian opinion to what I have essentially.
I love the YouTube chat. We do the recap at the end of the show. I think it's pretty good. People dig that. So get involved, stream us, watch us there. All right.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. If you're going to be the gatekeeper that says like, oh sure, like guess what? You don't have a choice. All right. But like, isn't this what?
Nope.
Isn't this what? Sports ultimately is supposed to be fun. And I know we take it to another level, and I wouldn't want it any other way as far as like how deep we dig. And with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is the Super Bowl MVP, and we're benching him the next year. Like, I get what comes with the territory. But all else being equal, we want to win, and we want to have fun, and we want to watch. And frankly, the winner teams, and ironically, our franchises here at the Fanatic, haven't had a lot of successful postseason run. Now, at least the Sixers did have. There was a couple of years there where it was good. They just never got over that hump.
Oh, it was great.
It was awesome. And then once it turned. And it's been like that since. They've been in the playoffs, but it certainly hasn't been a positive story. Or like, if you're a 76er fan, you like outside of hoping they can get in the playoffs this year and make a run, has it been fun being a 76er fan the last couple seasons?
As a matter of fact, that was my comment on a video that was put out yesterday about Joel Embiid, me yelling about him in the postgame with Sam and Sean. And I said, I love JoJo. I do. I just hate being a 76er fan at this point.
Yeah, it stinks. It's not fun.
It's the reality of where we're at.
And I don't want that.
No.
But that's just where we are. This with the Flyers is fun. This is fun. So if you're a diehard or you're someone that's just jumping on right now, let's just have fun and let's unite. And I'm never going to pretend that I know more than people that watch hockey all the time or whatever. I mean, like, listen, I understand offsides and icing and penalties and things like that.
Come on, man. I
have watched hockey before.
We went to a hockey game at Madison Square Garden with the Rangers and the Flyers.
With Bill and the late Bart.
It was unbelievable. Like,
oh, what a time.
And that was when, obviously, that they were winning. And it was a great time to be a Flyers fan in those years, even though they came up relatively short. That's all it comes down to, John. Like I said, I sat down with expectations. You know how many times I've done that with the Philadelphia Union in postseason? Phillies the last couple seasons? Sixers? I don't even have to go down that path. I sit down, expectations for a Flyer game, and not only did they deliver, they kicked the Devil's
Exceeded,
butt.
man.
5-1. As an underdog, 2-0, by the way. So I hope you cashed in if you were listening here. Let's go.
All right, 5-1. The Flyers went. And by the way, let me say this before we do the goals. Because at 10 a.m. every day, we give you the keyword for the Fanatic Cash Parlay. You can still enter up to 25 minutes after the hour. So the contest keyword is Bill, B-I-L-L. And you text that to 45911, or you enter it on the Fanatic app or at 975thefanatic.com. It's a random entry. One random entry wins $1,000 in this company-wide contest. Contest rules 975thefanatic.com. Fanatic Parlay Cash stood up by Iron Mountain Men's Health. 5 goals? 5 goals will play from Tim Saunders. Here's number 1.
Timo Meier trying to lay it out in front. That's picked off, and here's Philadelphia racing the other way. Konechny, late in the shift, right wing pass, got it to Owen Tippett. Tippett stops, then swings him behind the net. Sends it out in front. Sanheim, he's got a man. They score! It's Zegras in the far circle, set up, and Trevor Zegras gives the Flyers the early lead with his 24th of the year. That's a new career high for Trevor Zegras.
All right, hell of a trade. Zegras.
Yeah, look, he came in. People were saying that this is a buy low spot, and you could hope you can rejuvenate him and get him going. Look, I'm not going to.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, he's been killing it, and he's been one of my favorite guys to watch all season long. Obviously, you hear he's having a career year, scoring goals. But it's definitely a name that's at the top of the list when it comes to odds as far as scoring goals too as well. We looked yesterday.
Yep. All right. So, but Zegras wasn't done. He gets goal number 1, and he gets goal number 2.
Zegras skates through the middle at center ice. Over the line, he'll give it up. Porter Martone in front. They score! What a pass! Martone in front of the net to Zegras, and he's got his second goal early. The Flyers, less than 3.5 minutes into the game, have the 2-0 lead on the 24th and 25th goals of the year for Trevor Zegras.
Yeah, and if you tuned in a little late, you missed the first 2 goals.
It's crazy.
That one on the power play, and 2-0 quick. Quick, now New Jersey answers with a goal about midway through the first period.
Yep.
Second period, it's 2-1 until this happens again early in the period, and you're feeling good, but now it's 2-1. It's like, all right, you start to get a little nervous, and then they kind of give you a reason to say, all right, I think we're good. Here it is.
Now a 2-on-1 developing for the Flyers. Forster's got a man with him. Forster and Tippett. Forster shoots. He scores! Tyson Forster buries it. His 12th goal of the year. We said the next goal is huge. The Flyers get it and take a 3-1 lead here early in the second.
Yep, and just a minute 12 later, Forrester, I guess he caught his breath real fast. He did it again.
Luke Hughes, the centering pass, that was broken up. Flyers have numbers the other way. It's Forster, Michkov, and Zegras. Drop past Michkov. Into the high slot to Zegras. Back across in front. Forster, he scores! Tyson Forster has his second goal of the period. His 13th of the year. And the Flyers open the 4-1 lead.
There you go. And then they were able to hold New Jersey. They go into the third period leading 4-1. And from there, they're just protecting the lead, and they know they got them.
The empty netter.
And don't you love the empty net?
Sometimes it will cost you, too.
Well, yeah. I mean,
in the gambling world,
well,
yes.
Well, I like when you get the empty net goal.
Oh, yeah. I love it when it's from way downtown, too.
Exactly.
Shooting full ice.
And here it was.
Through center, Dougie Hamilton, right wing pass to the line. Mercer got turned around, couldn't find it for a moment. Now Sealer will. He'll take a shot at the empty net. He scores! Nick Sealer lofts one into the air and all the way down. His third goal of the season, his first in 30 games. Into the empty goal. The Flyers are going to beat the Devils in this one. It's now 5-1.
Yep. Feel good for Tim Saunders.
Oh, yeah.
When your team isn't good and you don't have the opportunities, like Scott Franzke's great at his job, but you need the opportunity of Bryce Harper hitting the home run in the spot. If you're doing play-by-play for a team that doesn't have any moments, then you don't have any moments. Regular season game doesn't count, but you have those iconic moments when they win the World Series. Harry Kalas before he passed away, Scott Franzke, Tom McCarthy. The radio guys get the chance to do it in the playoffs. The television guys don't, because you're doing national broadcast. So that's what you have. And now I feel good for Timmy that he's able after not a great stretch here.
Oh, yeah. And it's got to be, a great job, obviously, but it's even better when they win. And you're playing in games like this. Oh, by the way, I thought yesterday, I did, about, man, how cool would it be to cruise up there. Again, I'm so scarred as a Philadelphia sports fan that I thought about going to last night's game, but I'm like, I'm not going to go to the game and then they lose.
Yep.
That's the first thing that goes to my mind. It's like, I'm not going all the way out there and they're going to lose. That's going to suck. And shame on me. You could call me a fair weather. I don't care, but that's the first thing that goes through my mind.
No, I would never do that to Flyers fans. Send me up there. You know what I'm saying, Ray? This is what they need, me going to a Flyers game in North Jersey.
We should wait until they're in the playoffs before any of us attend a game.
Oh, by the way.
I don't think I'm deserving of going.
Oh, by the way, a friend of mine, Colin, who's a listener, already has tickets for game one. Look. Don't murder the messenger.
Okay, no, it's a good point.
I don't know how you can do it. Apparently StubHub has them.
I got the email that I was, hey, if you wanted the opportunity to buy playoff, because believe it or not, I've been to quite a few games over these lean years. I know people upset that the radio guy got an email about it.
The season, if you're a season ticket holder, whether or not you've bought them, I would assume that you already bought them, right? Or at the very least, you know that you'll be able to buy them. You know your circumstance. Like if you have tickets for every game, you get that seat.
And we went to this Flyers game this year, the Fish game. So that's probably why he got the email saying you could purchase Flyers playoff tickets now.
Right.
So he's got game one tickets.
Yeah, I purchased.
Is it even a home game? How do you know game one's home?
Well, game one, that would be at home.
What
the first game?
Technically game 3, but it's the home game one.
The playoff game, home game 1.
Yep. Whoop, whoop. Sorry.
But they also have to make the playoffs,
right.
So
that too. Yeah, that too.
Right, which is still only a 60 or 65% chance. Like I had Jingle Ball tickets before they went on sale because there was a pre-sale to a credit card company for their holders, and I went on Game Time, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to buy them right now. I'm not even going to mess around.
And he said, yeah, man, I'm all in. Yeah, all right. Yeah, you're all in right now. Great. Yeah, me too, along with everybody else in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Kenny from the Dirty 30 agrees. I am not allowed to go to Flyers games.
Oh, come on,
Kenny,
man.
I'm not going to a Flyer game next year.
Dude, stateside live pregame.
That's what I'm saying.
Nice warm weather coming our way.
By the way, I had some programming ideas for if the Flyers make the playoffs, which will release later on.
Nice.
Which is just like frankly genius. I'm just saying.
Oh, by the way, are we getting good weather coming up here? Somebody told me
This weekend's supposed to be back in the 70s.
Hey now.
Yeah.
All right.
But they also need to finish this off at the Red Wings, at the Jets, and then your home Hurricanes on is that Saturday or is the Jets game on? I guess the Jets game Saturday. And then next week, your home Hurricanes, home Canadiens.
The Canadians is the Grateful Dead game, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to make, yeah.
Well, you've been to Flyers games this year.
Yeah,
You're allowed to go. All right?
I got the shirt.
You're good. All right, so Sean, and Russ Joy of Snow the Goalie podcast does it with Anthony Sanfilippo. Jason goes on there routinely. Chris Tarian goes on there routinely. So Russ is going to join us at 11 o'clock.
He's live from the barn, isn't he, Dave?
Pre and post every home game.
Yeah, I salute you.
And when we talk about being happy for people, these guys have been doing this for years. Jason doing the pre and post game.
I'm sure he's getting rich from that show, too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
The ratings bonanza, everyone claims it to be.
Yes.
Russ could tell us a little more about that.
Right. Well, I know on Easter, because they stream on YouTube, I know even Easter Sunday, they had thousands of views on their post game. Which he was surprised about because it's Easter.
They're quality, it's quality voices, and they put the work in.
But when the appetite's out there for something, that's when you see numbers jump. And the appetite's out there right now. They just need to finish this off. 4 games to go. All right, so we talked about the 76er ticket giveaway for the best, most creative parody song, or just we'll just say voice memo. It doesn't just have to be a parody song, but it kind of feels like it's turned into to parody songs. We had a couple Ricky Bo parody songs yesterday.
Good.
Ricky Bo, he's on the radio. There's one that was mean to Colarulo. We had a News at Noon open, which was very, very cool. There's other things. So, we'll throw it out there. End of the show, we're going to pick from the 2 days of shows, and then the best one gets tickets to the final Sixers game of the year. Ray, this could be the game that puts them in the playoffs. Think about that. You could be potentially going to a historic game where 10 years from now you say, yeah, remember we won the tickets from the Fanatic. We went to the game. They won. They clinched.
And I don't want to ruin any News at Noon audio from today, but it kind of seems like you might see the end of one man's career.
So here we go again.
Oh no, that was Doc Rivers is doing some of his finest things later on in his career.
It's a dumbass question.
And nobody are you surprised with what Sham said? Doc said
No,
not at all.
Not
Of course
at all.
not.
And in fact, I can hear him saying it.
And neither was Danny Green either.
You see his reaction. All right, that's coming up in the News at Noon, which is at 12 o'clock, so don't go anywhere. But last night I actually was alerted to it by Sean in the group chain, and I looked at it and I had to I'm like, no way. Now, if there was anybody, and quite frankly, this is not a victory lap because it's kind of sad, to be honest with you. It's a sad state of affairs with where we are and people we elevate into powerful positions that cover sports and for the family aspect of it as well. But I mean, is there anybody out there that you know? I'm sure that there's people out there that were the number one seeds and being anti-Diana Rossini. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody that I know or I've heard that had an extreme dislike for her and just the fraud that she was. And just a total fraud. You could tell she was manipulating the system. She was playing the system. And you know what? She's making a lot of money. You want to do what you want to do. Well, let's not act like you're a journalist because I never looked at you as a journalist. You were a snake oil salesman from when you decided that's what you were going to do. And
Made a career out of it.
Yeah, she made a career out of it. She's making money out of it.
She went to ESPN, left ESPN to go to The Athletic.
Right. And Ray, who's number two? If I'm the number one seed in Rossini, who's number two?
Of you hating or hating?
No, I'm just being anti-Diana Rossini. Is there anybody that even like?
I can't even think of someone that comes close.
AJ Brown.
And vocally, literally, and you know this even behind the scenes. She drives me nuts. I'll see a tweet, and even if I'm not talking about it on the air, my head explodes.
Yes. I do that on purpose sometimes.
Yeah, no, you guys, you bait me into it, but it drives me nuts. It does. And then the story coming down where she's canoodling with Mike Vrabel it's unbelievable. It really is. And I don't even know at this point, do I need to explain what the situation is? So the owners' meetings are in Phoenix, and about a 2-hour drive away is this place in Sedona. And the whole hotel was marketed to this many thousands of people got engaged here. This is where you go for anniversaries. This is where you go for weddings. This is where you go for romantic weekend getaways.
Adults only, baby.
Adults only. And like this is like you're in the mountains. It's beautiful scenic view. And I don't know where they got these pictures from the New York Post. I don't know if somebody noticed them or I don't know.
I can't wait to talk about that.
But yeah, so these pictures come out where they're holding hands in one picture, they're hugging in another picture, and then they're sitting poolside in yet another picture. Now, they came out and claimed that they were there with other people and the photos were taken out of context and there's nothing going on. They have a relationship that extends, past being a reporter and a player, and it's not like whatever it is. There's nobody that believes that, right? Like, you think Mike Vrabel's wife or Diana Rossini's husband, who is a local guy and an Eagles fan, and I feel terrible about that. You think that anybody actually believes that? They can say it all they want. But does anybody actually believe that? Would you believe that if that was your wife or your husband? Would your wife or husband believe that if you tried to sell them that?
Nope.
Of course not. So now you have that aspect of it, which is like, oh, so it's a coach and a reporter that are canoodling and obviously have some type of romantic relationship. But it's even further than that. Because guess what? And I won't mention any names, and I'm not even talking locally. Believe me, this has gone on for a long time. Female reporters or studio people or whatever, and athletes. It does go on locally. In fact, it does go on locally more than you think.
Oh, yeah.
More than you think. And guess what? People are afraid to say it publicly, and I ain't saying it publicly, bro.
You can't.
But that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. And I know personally from my time in the media how much this has happened personally. Sometimes, I mean, look at Casey McDonald. She and I love Casey. She was hunting for an athlete husband. Yeah, she was dating the Murray kid, and then she married whoever
Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, Hosmer. Yeah. So believe me, this happens.
Cupid.
But it doesn't feel like that with this. This feels like she got so caught up in this world of being this NFL insider that it's like the arrogance and everything else just took everything over. Because if you look at her rise to the top, which is complete slop, but it is. Like, she's very successful at what she does. And for every one person like me that goes crazy, there's another 97 people that don't realize that they don't follow it closely enough.
Correct.
But the fact that she has been incessantly on A.J. Brown being traded and going to the Patriots and having all this inside, at least quote-unquote insider knowledge, it makes her look really, really, really bad.
Oh, she got insider knowledge, that's for sure.
I would say so.
We know that.
It goes to the bigger picture of these insiders and how much reporting are they actually doing. And let me just say this. I don't believe she has any more inside knowledge. I mean, maybe she has a little bit more inside knowledge than the average reporter. But isn't she saying the exact same thing that everybody else is?
Yeah, she regurgitates everything else.
She does that with everything.
There's very few times that she does get some stuff right. Like, I don't follow her by no means, but when there are some things on the timeline, sometimes I do stop and look. By no means, we've been very vocal about this, you a little bit more so than me, since we started in October, that, she doesn't even come close to, like, our top 5 people that we look to for information, at least concrete, facts and stuff like that. So she regurgitates a lot, and like you said, she's made a pretty good living out of it, having to leave ESPN front and center on Get Up every morning, going to The Athletic and taking on this Scoop City deal. She's made a pretty good living out of it. I just want to say this, so here we are, the story breaks last night, and the first thing that goes through my mind is like, dude, that those pictures are set up. Like, those pictures, that's not just some random person noticing Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel at the hotel. No way. You can't convince me. Somebody caught wind of this. Somebody
went
set
up there
this
and
up.
did it.
Yep. And the one picture that sets it apart, and we'll get to their statements because they came out and immediately denied it. And, oh, by the way, I want to shine the light on the man running The Athletic. He better be very careful because that is a big, big brand that he represents.
New York Times.
That is a monster brand, and he came out quick in defense of her. Regardless, we'll put that to the side because this ain't about him. So her big thing is like, oh, there were other people there. That is a 2-person bungalow that has a rooftop.
And there's only access to the rooftop from the bungalows.
From the bungalow.
From the 2-person bungalows. Their story was that she was on a hiking expedition with her girlfriends. Oh, and Vrabel just happened to be at the owners' meetings, and him and his buddies came up for the day.
Whoops.
How convenient.
And you just slipped and fell in my lap. How about that?
He slipped on a banana peel and ended up nude on top of Diana Rossini, which we don't have pictures of. But it was clearly a setup.
Wow.
And, I mean, it sounds like the story sounds like some dumb dude would say, like, oh, I was up there for hiking with the girlfriends. And, I mean, it's a perfect cover. He's at the owners' meetings. She's at the owners' meetings.
It's a work trip.
Hey, we're going to go up and we're going to spend a day or two at this Sedona thing and go camping. And meanwhile, they go up there and they snuggle. Maybe the girlfriends did go up and she slipped away from him. But, like, here's what I haven't seen. Hey, Diana, let me see the pictures from the hiking expedition with all your girlfriends.
A.
Yeah.
B, how about one of your friends step up to the timeline?
Somebody.
Yeah, give their account. I think you would probably need that at this point
Because
in time.
we know it's not true.
Correct.
And now Ray, there's a lot of videos being put out there. She did an interview with Vrabel. She would have been better off, and believe me, I am not being sexist, and I'm not saying this to be sexist. I can't lose my job, all right? But her shorts are so short. She would have been better off not wearing shorts because it's more of it's something your eye would catch more because they're so short, as opposed to not that I'm saying like be nude, but they were that short. And it's like she's doing an interview on camera with Mike Vrabel. And then there's the Stu Gotts video that's out there. I mean, all of a sudden you get all these videos and it's like, wow. Like, she's just not flirty. Now the dots are connected. Oh, hey, there was a story in 2015 where the wife of the GM of the Redskins had come out on social media. She accused her of being with him.
These things have been following her. And it's almost to the point, like, when the stuff came out and the wife of the GM retracted the statement, whatever.
Well, she said she was sorry. She didn't say it wasn't true.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Regardless, there's one thing to say something, and then there's another to catch them in the act. And this is stone cold. Dude, somebody put this out there on the timeline yesterday. Like, if this was your work trip, how would your significant other react?
You'd be out of the house.
The locks would not work.
Right.
She would not allow me to be with her, like, solo. Like, it would be like, okay, you want to get your stuff? I'll be out of the house. Like,
you leave.
It's over. It's done. Regardless, they can handle it however they want. But the funny thing for me is to come out and Vrabel's first opportunity to shut down the speculation. These photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestion otherwise is laughable. These don't deserve any further response.
Yeah, I'm sure his wife's laughing. She agrees. Yeah. Mike Vrabel's wife agrees it is laughable. He's laughing.
And one more on Diana. She said that, like most journalists in the NFL, reporters interact with sources away from stadiums and other venues, close quote.
That's the next level.
Holding hands and
she's touching his side as they're hugging.
Touching me.
Touching you. Diana Rossini. Banging Mike Vrabel. Banging. Woo! All right, we have some parody songs on this and other things.
Wow.
Ray, you want to add to the
Mostly
conversations?
We got to hit a break.
Social media was fun last night for the first time in forever.
Let me say this real fast. I feel terribly for the family and the husband and the kids. I really do. I really do. Because I know that he's an Eagle fan, and I'm assuming he's a lucky guy.
But you know what?
All right.
I don't know what's going on in that household. Put the kids to the side.
Agreed. All right, Russ Joy coming up at 11 o'clock to get into the Flyers. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
spend it creeping with the girl next door. Picture this, we were both caught making love on the bathroom floor. How could I forget?
I hate to be taken, like, honestly, it's an internal conflict where I laugh and I take joy, and then I think about, the damage that it causes the families and the kids. It does. You know, and like, I don't know. Then you think about it and it's like, well, Jesus. Like her own arrogance.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to say this, but like athletes and coaches and things like that, I guess I would never be, I should never be surprised when people commit adultery. We don't know what's going on within marriages, right? Like, obviously not every marriage is built the same. Just because someone's committing adultery doesn't necessarily, like, who knows? Who knows what's happening? Like, who knows? One side could be cheating on the other, and then this is like, their marriage could be a complete mess. I don't know.
Sometimes people make mistakes, too.
And sometimes people make mistakes.
This is clearly something in a different world.
But it's not, so taking the personal aspect out of this, it's just that, like, her credibility to me was exactly what we just found out about her. That's literally how much respect I had for her as a reporter.
You read it right.
And like nobody should be surprised. Probably in hindsight, I think a lot of people look, because believe me, Sean, I used to get a lot of people that would email me and be like, "You sound like a real chauvinist. You sound like you're really taking over the top. Like, what is your problem? Like, you gotta stop talking about her." And I'm like, "All right." You're like, sometimes I just can't help myself. She is such an epic fraud, and it's part of the problem with. And this isn't about women. This is about the insiders today. It's just scummy. This isn't real reporting. Right? There's no real reporting. Regurgitating information and then canoodling your way by flirting into being an insider. And that's essentially what she's done.
Yep.
And she's been very smart about it. Look at the success she's had. It's all come crashing down now. And I don't know if it's going to cost her a job. I don't want it to cost her a job. That's not what this is about.
Yeah, I don't see how they have a choice.
Well,
I'm not saying I'm rooting for anybody to lose their gig. I never do, never have, never will. But I don't think again, credibility, everything. That whole outlet takes a monster hit. You don't think that dude, Stephen Ginsley, hang on, I'll pull up his name real quick because I want to get that correct, who went out there front and center, Stephen Ginsburg, who backed it up by saying, quote, misleading and the photos lack essential context, close quote.
Yeah, okay, so then give me some hiking pictures from the girlfriends. Give me, like, Vrabel came up with his buddies for a day to hang out.
That's from the executive editor of The Athletic.
Of the New York Times. If you notice in the page 6 post piece, Ray, I don't know if you noticed this, they didn't say The Athletic. They said the New York Times.
They kept going after the big one.
Yeah, they kept saying New York Times. It's a direct competitor. Yeah, what do they care? What do they care about the Athletic?
The Post is such a rag. I hate the Post. I hate clicking on the Post.
So they get word that there's something going on, and they say we can bury the New York Times, and they get somebody to go out there. Was it misleading? Yeah, possibly.
They set it up. That's absolutely.
It's a setup.
It was 100% crystal clear, and they got them in cold blood.
Yeah, it's tough to argue with.
This wasn't just Ray sitting around poolside smoking a cigarette, drinking a rum runner, going, "Is that Diana Rossini? Let me get a picture." No, that wasn't this case.
Right.
No. This was. Oh, yeah, we're going to send somebody undercover. We're going to set it up. We're going to find out because, look, remember how sleazy it was back in the day? We would call hotel rooms. I got Matt Barkley, remember? Sometimes you call a hotel. I'm supposed to meet my cousin there.
But also, these pictures were taken from a distance.
Yes.
This was a high-powered camera they were using. This wasn't some schmuck on an iPhone.
Someone was sent to do this.
That stumbled.
Correct.
For sure.
But sometimes all you got to do to get information is call and then BS somebody at the front desk, and they'll be, oh, you know what? Yeah, they're in room 111. Oh, yeah, they're scheduled to check in. Like, it happens. Trust me, I made phone calls like that.
Yeah, we got Cliff Lee after he got traded in Puerto Rico at a hotel.
Tim McManus
Tim Nahagian, we figured out I was actually on vacation. Nahagian we figured out he was on vacation in Puerto Rico, and Nahagian called every hotel, or Tim did, but Nahagian told him to. He called every hotel. The trick is you say, "Hi, can I have the Lee room?"
It used to work a lot more. It doesn't work.
Because they would leave they put their real name.
Correct. Yeah.
And then they would ring the room. Yeah. And then they would answer the phone. I got Dr. J. Matt got Dr. J. And Nahagian got Dr. J on the line. And Dr. J from the hotel room.
I got Andy Reid.
You got Andy Reid.
And then Andy Reid called back and cursed me out.
We got Nick Foles from the Pro Bowl. Got Nick Foles from the Pro Bowl. He did the interview. We also booked Shady the same way.
Wow.
At the Hilton Hawaiian Village. And then we put Foles on, and then the Eagles were like, no, like, Shady, you can't do it.
I called the
That's all
Hyatt
we're
in
doing.
Memphis to get LeBron. That didn't work out.
No.
Definitely not.
Not surprised. All right, give me the best parody. Is there a Dirty Diana parody song
Of course.
on the
there is.
Davis Honda text line? Let's hear it.
Dirty Diana, no. What does your husband and kids have to say about this? You can deny all you want, but the pictures don't lie. Dirty Diana, no. Dirty Diana, no. I guess Bill Belichick was too old for you. You bring a whole new meaning to the Patriots cheating scandal. I hope you
It's
didn't
the
give
Patriots,
a
too.
massage to the owner. Dirty Diana, no. Dirty
All
Diana.
right, I've had enough.
No. Yeah, look, I made this case yesterday or last night. I said, this doesn't, like, Bob Kraft isn't even picking up the phone on this. This doesn't even register for the Patriots. Vrabel's going to have to deal with this. He's had a 25-year
Well,
marriage.
the Patriots they didn't have any comment.
Because the Patriot
So they don't
way.
know. They don't know how to respond to
It's
it.
the Patriot way, brother. They don't care.
It really is.
Keep it moving.
Well, Bob Kraft's down at the Geesh before the AFC Championship game in Jupiter, Florida.
Look, I'm with you, John. It sucks because we're talking about families here. But, man, this is the story. This is front and center. And
I
for somebody
know.
that makes a living out of sources, to have it flipped, it's just
When you're part of the machine,
Correct.
and your words and your tweets, like, and I believe a lot of them are toxic and fake. And now for this to now, all of a sudden you're caught with the head coach of the New England Patriots, who, by the way, that's the only destination A.J. Brown's going to. Like, Schefter was on this morning. They had to ask him about it. They did a good job. And he had talked about, like, he's like, did Diana really have any different information than anybody else? The answer is no, he didn't. And then he asked about, well, no one knew about the Rams and the Eagles talking about A.J. Brown. Yeah, and it just that gives you more credibility towards she has inside information. Because maybe if she was fooling around with Les Snead, the GM of the Rams, she would have had that information.
true.
Whether it's true or not, nobody knew about that because nobody's messing around with the GM or the coach of the Rams or the Eagles for that matter. Holy cow.
Woo! What a story. What a story. I was trying to explain it to my wife last night, and she's just like, wow, yeah, don't cheat. I'm like, yeah, don't. Like,
You have to explain it like the hockey show.
Oh, yeah.
In that term.
Yeah.
The gay hockey show. Then she would understand because that's the only thing she understands if you explain it like that.
It's a good pull. Heated rivalry, yes.
Any
insider.
Still watching it to this day.
For example, when you want the airport beer and she says no, if you bring it back to heated rivalry, well, what's his name? Connor Stallions?
Connor Stallions would have a beer with me right now at 6:55.
Remember this episode? Yeah.
She just got a keychain that has both jerseys on the front and back. It's ridiculous. It
Sounds like a week.
Oh yeah.
Coming up, Russ Joyce, Snow the Goalie podcast. One of your Flyers voices in the city. Russ, a good dude, and they do a great job. His thoughts on the Flyers. How confident is Russ that it's not just 60 or 65%? The Flyers haven't made the playoffs, everybody. Let's keep that in mind. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Flyers keep it rolling. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Morgenstern Medical. This month at Morgenstern Hair Restoration, they're including free Almaten treatment with your procedure. That's $1,000 value free. Call 610-831-AIR. Visit morgensternhair.com. The Flyers beat the Devils 5-1 last night. Trevor Zegras, Tyson Forster, 2 goals apiece. Flyers third in the Metro. We will talk to Russ Joy coming up in the next segment about the Flyers, their playoff chances, and the recent run. The Phillies lost 6-0 last night out in San Francisco. Christopher Sanchez went 5 innings, allowed 11 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 6. Game 3 of that series, decisive one between the two sides. 3:40 today, Aaron Nola on the mound for the Phils. And Adam Schefter joined Kincade and Salciunas earlier this morning and talked about how close A.J. Brown was to being a Los Angeles Ram.
The Eagles and Rams were further along at one point than people realized. And at one point, I remember thinking, boy, there's a chance it's going to get done with the Rams.
But it didn't get done with the Rams. A.J. Brown remains a bird. This update's also brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Victims of drunk and drug driving. Your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP. Visit MAD.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Sean Brace, Ray Dunn, the home of the Flyers.
Let's go.
97.5, the Fanatic. You have Flyers gear on, but that's from a game you went earlier this season.
Yeah, they ended up losing in overtime, as they did a bunch this season. A lot of games went to overtime for the Flyers. I forget who. It was Toronto. The Maple Leafs came to town and got them in OT. It was a good game, but it was a fish night, John, and went down. A couple buddies had a blast. A good theme
Casey
night.
Boy was there.
Yeah, Casey Boy was rocking out, and Stateside Live had some pregame festivities. A lot of cool things. Flyers do a great job at the barn. They really do. With all that. Of course, Gritty's front and center, but man, Lou Nolan, best in the business. Just so many good people that work for that team over the years and continue to do so.
Well, I'm going to need to get some gear because the Flyers, and I want to make sure we mention this a couple times, Ray. I don't want to be blamed. It's still what's being termed a 60 or 65% chance of making the playoffs. They have to finish the deal, but the win last night was huge. And also, like, a lot of times we talk about style points in sports. Last night was a style point win.
Oh, yeah.
2 early goals. You felt it all night long.
That was a big-time game for both teams. And you said 60% real quick, just as far as to make the playoffs on my local sports book. Checking it out here. The Philadelphia Flyers on the yes. Why am I not saying? Oh, minus 160, plus 135 on the no.
Okay, so pretty good favorite. Boom. All right, to discuss is Russ Joy on social media. It's at Joy on Broad, and he of course is the longtime pre and post game host, along with Anthony Sanfilippo. Snow the goalie is the name of the game. They're down. I don't know if it's every single home game, but like every single home game. These guys have been doing this for years. And Russ Joy joins us right now. Hi, Russ.
Hello, guys. How are we doing? Are you flyered up yet? Are you flyered up yet?
Are you fired up, Russ?
Let's go.
I got to tell you, what a wild world we're living in. About a month ago on my show, I'm pulling up the Tankathon and I'm pulling up the playoffs. And the playoffs seemed like a very far, distant, unlikely possibility. And then over in Tankathon, you were kind of like, all right, Flyers were going to probably pick somewhere around 13th best odds in the lottery. You start to kind of play out the scenarios in your head. If they lose this many games, can they get to number 8? 8 is where I like to be. You can get jumped twice, still picking the top 10. That's about a month ago. Then a few weeks ago, things start kind of breaking the Flyers' favor. They start winning some games. And about 2.5 weeks ago, I had to bail on a thing that I've long believed is the thing. You need another top pick, another stud to add to Michkov and Martone. I said, there is no longer a viable path to a high pick in the draft. Go out and win every game you can. Guess what they've done? They've pretty much won every game they can. I mean, they're very close to it. Since the Olympic break, they've been on fire. And now they're firing on all cylinders. So I am, in fact, fired up.
You have to be.
You certainly are. So Russ is actually, we're making history here. I don't know if you know this.
This is a station history.
Russ is the first guest to join us via Zoom.
Whoa.
So if you watch us on if you're watching us on YouTube, you're seeing Russ, who, by the way, has just a mustache, which is something most guys that are younger have trouble pulling off. Ray can pull it off, and Russ certainly can as well. He looks handsome with the mustache.
There you go.
Yeah,
you
nice.
See that?
Oh,
you see that?
There you go. Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
Zoom in on the mustache.
The chat is going to love Russ, so this is definitely going to help out with some end of the show content. That's for sure with the YouTube chat.
Yeah, YouTube chat recap. So Russ, this isn't the first time you made the show. We played when you and Anthony were fighting about them not making a trade at the trade deadline, which was hysterical. So, but how do we get here? How do we get from the Olympic break happens, me, I'm a casual fan. I'm like, oh, we're not making the playoffs this year. This sucks. Sure. To where we are right now, there's 4 games to go. And so how is the team here? How are we on, if they do what they need to do in the next 4 games, they're in the playoffs this year. How do we get here?
They've had a lot of things break their way. This whole season has been built largely on the back of Dan Vladar, who came to this team from Calgary, was a backup who ended up playing like the more meaningful of the games, the tougher opponents that Calgary faced as they were trying to shelter their younger netminder last year. But when the Flyers brought him into town, I think that they believed he was going to be a backup. Last year's goalie situation was horrific. Ersin, Kolosov, Fedotov. It didn't work. I mean, it was about as bad of a goalie situation as you could have in the league. But Vladar finally gets his opportunity to be a starter. He's already I think 12 or 13 games past, maybe a little bit more past his all-time most games started in a season. I think he's at 46 now. I think the previous was 29. So that's 17. Good math. this season has largely been built on him. He's been playing like a top 5 netminder at points in the season, at worst top 10. The only time that this team really lost its way was in January. Vladar got hurt. They had to go back to Ersin and Kolosov. It didn't work well at all. That now seems like an aberration. It's a total anomaly. And if you remove January from the equation, this is a playoff team. Like point blank, make no mistake about it. It's a playoff team. And that is largely because of Vladar. If you had the same goalie situation you would have had a year ago, this is probably a bottom 7, bottom 8 team in the entire league. So most of it is Vladar. But in recent weeks, it's been the excitement around Porter Martone signing his ELC, coming to town, playing at a high level. You watch a goal last night. He's stride for stride with Trevor Zegras, a high-speed assist. Incredible stuff. He had the overtime game winner at home the other night on Easter Sunday. And then you look at Tyson Forster returning to the lineup. When Forster was lost for the season, roughly 20 games in, they were talking about a 5-month recovery timeline that would have had him come back somewhere in the second round of the playoffs, which, again, seemed like a joke. He's back, has 2 goals last night. Looks like he hasn't missed a step. I mean, those are a few reasons.
Yeah, Russ, a lot to like right now about this team. And as you pointed out, thinking about the playoffs before the Olympic break was just a true distant thought. 12 of 15 in losses, wrong column. And, of course, they bounced back in a big way after the Olympics. I don't want to get into the minutia of, like, what was the change and everything that Tocchet has brought to the table here. I want to talk about Zegras, though, and the trade that took place and the expectations. Of course, Simply put, did the Flyers win that trade? This kid has delivered and then some. And then last night, having the opportunity to hear him talk about having the success that he's having this year as far as a career year, and he had no interest in discussing it. A true, just a hockey dude that you can pull for. But he's a young gun. He's 24 years old. Obviously, I think the Flyers won that trade, but give us a little background on what took place with Zegras and landed him.
Well, so on one hand, you kind of look at the Cutter-Gauthier trade in Anaheim, the Gauthier for Drysdale one. What a lot of people like to do is they try to tie the two deals together. So they say, all right, you lost Cutter-Gauthier. That was a mess of a situation. You kind of let that one go. And you say, all right, on balance, would you rather have Cutter-Gauthier and Ryan Poehling, who is the guy that the Flyers ultimately traded for Zegras? Do you prefer Gauthier and Poehling, or do you prefer Drysdale and Zegras? And that, on balance, feels like a better overall trade. If you look at the Gauthier for Drysdale trade, you feel like Anaheim gets the win. And obviously, if you look at Zegras for Poehling, it's a clear win for the Flyers. The thing that's been interesting, and it's the thing that I was banging the table about, it's the thing that I wanted to smash my head against a wall, for months for the season, is when you're in year 3 of a self-identified rebuild, Zegras believes he's a center. The Ducks stopped believing that he could be a center. They thought he was going to be a wing. Zegras comes to town, they play him on the wing. And I continued to ask the question, why wouldn't you, in year 3 of a rebuild, give him 40 games at center? Prove once and for all, are you a center or are you not? And I think there may have even been a little bit of gamesmanship. He's a restricted free agent at the end of the year. You are not going to get as much money as a wing as you will as a center. And so there's part of me that said, all right, are they trying to play a little bit of negotiating tactics for the first 30 games of the season, trying to get a lower value, right? Get a lower AAV on a contract with Zegras, worked out as a winger, and then, all of a sudden, maybe you try him at center. Well, they've kind of had their hand forced. Sean Couturier, for better or worse, can't really play center at this point. His body's too banged up. 2 back surgeries will do that. We don't fault him for it. But they have so many wings. They traded Bobby Brink at the deadline. They have Alex Bump in the lineup. They have Denver Barkey in the lineup. Porter Martone gets added. Tyson Forster comes back. You needed Zegras to play center. You just simply could not afford to not play him there. And he's not great in the faceoff circle. That is the one area where he is definitely below par. Oh, well. Figure it out. You make it work because this lineup makes significantly more sense with him as a center.
We're talking to Russ Joy here of Snow the Goalie. And Russ, for the Flyers for Dummies amongst us here, is it at this point?
For dummies.
Is it at this point where we should accept this is a playoff team and start talking about ceiling? Or are you still worried about the potential trip up here of them not making the postseason?
I don't worry as much about the trip up, but you do have to kind of take a more holistic view of this playoff situation right now. Right now, the wild cards are both occupied by Atlantic Division teams. Boston is pretty far ahead, so we'll assume that they'll get that top wild card spot. But that leaves Ottawa from the Atlantic Division, as well as Detroit, who the Flyers play tomorrow. That's a gigantic game. You could effectively end Detroit's playoff hopes and also further bolster your own by winning on Thursday. And you've got Columbus and the Islanders right behind you. Now, Columbus, a little bit closer, 2 points behind you. The Islanders are 3 behind you. The Islanders also made a panic move, fired their head coach, brought in Pete DeBoer, known for Game 7 wins, but also for calling out his franchise netminder, Jake Ottinger, in Dallas last year, got him fired, probably in part due to being a little bit flippant with his comments. So they made a panic move, and the Islanders were in total free fall. They're 3-7-0 in their last 10 games. Will they pull the nose up? It's possible. New coach bump? It's possible. Columbus is 3-6-1 over their last 10. Does that scare you? I don't know. I still look at it and say, you are vulnerable if you lose to Detroit. You win against Detroit, you all of a sudden ramp up the pressure on everyone else. I can't look too far ahead. I can't look at ceiling. What I can look at is, as of right now, in the likely scenario, if you get that third spot in the Metropolitan Division, your first round series is against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh yeah. We were talking
And
about it
not
before
only-
the show, Russ.
And not only is it against the Penguins, it's against a Penguins team who made a panic trade earlier in the season with Edmonton. Edmonton needed a goalie. They swapped goalies, Skinner for Jari. Skinner is the better goalie, but Skinner also has come up very small in back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. So, do I like the Flyers' chances in a first-round series against Pittsburgh? I actually kind of do.
Let's go. They're already in the second round of the playoffs, Sean.
Can I get deep though, real quick? Penguins, though, they score a lot of goals though. They're a lot of games go to the over, and especially these last 15. They've been on a tremendous streak, so the Flyers are going to have to find the back of the net a lot.
Let's get there first. But I mean, think about that, Russ. That we potentially are talking about. Flyers make the playoffs. They play Pittsburgh in the first round. Are you kidding me? And the great thing about that is, Penguins fans hate us so much, hate Philadelphians, and hate Flyers fans so much. There couldn't be a better way to get back into the playoffs here for the Flyers.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
I would imagine Bettman's begging for this.
Oh, man.
It would be unbelievable.
100%. Has to be. You know, the funny thing is, too, we talked about this earlier in the season on Snow the Goalie. We were saying, like, listen, this rivalry between the Flyers and Penguins is largely dead. The Flyers haven't been a really relevant team, a playoff team, in a long time. I mean, the COVID-shortened season, that was, if you want to call that a playoff run, you can. But realistically, it's been about a decade of futility. And meanwhile, Pittsburgh's been Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is also getting ready to send off, Crosby and Malkin and Letang to pasture at some point. It feels like every year could be their last year. I think that in a large way, Flyers fans have lost the vitriol for Crosby because you look at him and you say he's going to go down as one of the all-time greats.
Sure.
There's more respect than there is hatred. But make no mistake about it.
Oh, yeah.
If the Flyers play the Penguins in the first round, all of that respect goes out the window. And we're going right back to sending Sidney Crosby, as good old Jim Ross would call it, straight to hell. That's what's going to happen.
Who was it that did the Hulk Hogan out there? Is that Hartnell? Who did that out there?
Hartnell did it, yeah.
Yes.
Hartnell did it years ago. Yep.
Right. Let's go.
Russ Joy, everybody. Snow the Goalie. Before the games, after the games, the home games are down there live. Russ, so listen, as we get going here, we'll bring you on again. Maybe later, probably early next week. Hopefully, we're talking about setting up a playoff series.
Hey,
here.
win or lose, too, man. But hopefully it's nothing but wins from here on.
But we appreciate you. Russ Joyce making history here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The first guest on Zoom, on YouTube.
What is this Zoom you talk about?
And he
Zoom?
looks good. Are you standing up at the microphone? Is that what your
I'm
setup
always
is?
standing. Oh, yeah, I'm standing. I've got the adjustable desk.
Do you have
See, I got
pants
the
on?
backdrop. I mean, come on. I do have pants. You want to see?
No, I don't want to see your
There goes. A little bit of flexibility there for you. There you go. The people listening on the radio are like, what the heck is going on?
Right.
The people watching on YouTube.
That's
All right,
normal.
Russ,
for having me on,
10 to 2.
guys.
Yeah.
Russ, you're the man. See you, buddy.
Yeah, that's normal 10 to 2. They always wonder what the hell's going on here.
Yep.
The desk that goes up and down, I actually almost bought one of those a long time ago. A little too expensive, but
Yeah,
if you work from home,
it's good because you don't want to, otherwise your back hurts.
correct, man. It changes everything.
Russ Joy also recently saw him in Wegmans.
Did you?
Russ has got 4 young kids. I got 3.
Wow.
So between the two of us, we had 7 kids, and I'm waiting for for my thinly sliced honey roasted turkey.
I don't know
I'm
how
like-
you guys do it.
Like, yo, Russ.
How do you do it? Like, how is it even possible to have more than 2 kids? How? How do you have 4 kids?
Well, and his are much are younger because I'm 10-8, and then there's a space, and Bella's 4. We'll be 5 in July. But
I don't like. We're tapped out. We're at each other's necks.
Yeah.
Like we're trying.
yeah, the third will make you more tapped out. Yeah.
God.
Hungry dogs.
I love going to the grocery store with them, though. I've been taking them to the grocery store since they were babies.
Nice.
We love going Sunday, whenever, Saturday, whenever. I take them. They're like a wild animals in there.
Yeah, man. Just let them run.
All right, there you go. So Russ feels really confident in it.
Yeah, you have to. And the whole Ziegler deal, man. I love the kid. I really do. He was, right from the jump, had an impact this whole season. You see the numbers. But I'm telling you, last night, I recorded it, so I'll give you the sound. We'll play it a little bit later in the show. But he was asked by JJ, and he set it up like, hey, man, you're setting this record, and do you keep up with that? And he was like, no, sir. And
Right.
like, just straightforward, but no BS. Like, but that's how they are in that league. Hockey players are a different breed. We know that. But, man, representing Philadelphia, the Flyers the right way, winning, and potentially on a playoff run here.
They've given us something to talk about. Now, at Red Wings, so it sounds like you win Thursday night, then you really, really put yourself.
Yeah, Thursday night is the one. It's the big game. As a matter of fact, there were people, we talked about this yesterday, saying.
That was more important than last night.
Correct. That makes sense.
At the Winnipeg Jets. What's Winnipeg like this time of year, Ray? Yeah.
Lovely. I've heard it's wonderful.
Home against the Hurricanes.
I've never been to Canada. Have you ever been to Canada?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
Montreal when I was 19.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Niagara Falls. I don't know. I went up with my parents when I was younger.
No, that's not New York. That's Toronto side. Like, how do you claim that? If you go to see Niagara Falls, are you in Canada?
Well, there's the U.S. side and then there's the Canadian side.
So you
can
were
look
on.
at it from but we saw it from the U.S. side, but then we drove over the border.
Okay.
And we had one of the pop-up campers. It's an 80s thing where it's like flat, and then when you want to use it, you turn this crank and it pops up.
Yeah.
And it has the netting on both sides with the beds.
You did it right.
Yep.
Your parents did it right. I've been begging my wife to rent an RV.
No, but that's not an RV. It's a pop-up
All right, so
camper.
that's not right. Yeah, did it have AC? Probably not. It had
AC,
windows.
there's netting on both sides.
How hot was that bad boy?
I don't remember.
Woo-wee.
I'm not the camping type.
Well, Winnipeg is 80 points right now, so that gives you a little understanding where they're at. But it is
they're not
all
great.
eyes on a Detroit Red Wings. And they split so far. This will be game 3. They've split so far this year.
Did they just lose one? Did they win one and lose one recently?
Yeah, they had 3 in like the final 12 games, I want to say. They ended up going to Detroit. They were up 4-0, and I went into the kitchen for a minute. Next thing you know, there was 4-3. They ended up winning that game, and then I went away last week, and you corrected me. They did play last week, and they lost last week to Detroit.
Yep. All right.
Big game.
Well, there you go. So yesterday, we're going to pivot to the Phillies here for a little bit. Yesterday, and Phillies lose last night 6-0. And listen, the auto zone right now is getting a little lonely, and there's people that are dropping off every day. Just saying, the bit's not really working out, Ray, but I'm standing strong, albeit by myself.
Good for you.
Can I get a 20?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Like, all right, I was out of reach for a while last week. Did he play last week?
He played last night.
I know he played last night, but this is his first taste, right?
No, there's been problems while you were gone.
Yeah, it hasn't been great.
Okay.
He might not be able to play the position he was not able to play.
Yeah, left field. Is it possible to get a second DH in the lineup these days in baseball? Can we have not one but 2 DHs?
I thought that was a tough play.
That damn Kyle Schwarber. They need to get him out of the lineup.
There we go.
It's Kyle Schwarber's fault. If he could play the field, Otto Kemp would be fine.
I don't look at Rush. I said Rush Joy. Excuse me. If
Yeah.
if Otto Kemp makes the right read, he's not catching that ball.
Yeah, but he doesn't. But he might. But he doesn't look like that. That's the difference.
That's fair.
Because it barely got over his head, and he had no idea what he was doing.
He just stopped and jumped.
Crawford hasn't been all that crispy either out there in the center field, hasn't
He is not.
Yeah, that was definitely
Not like Otto.
I got that wrong on game 1. That might have been an overreaction.
Do you know who looks like AutoZone looks like Otto Kemp looks like a guy that you're okay with that occasionally when you hit 30 home runs. Pat the Bat was he didn't get to as many balls as you may like, but overall he could play the position solidly, and he was a good hitter.
Right field, Garcia, hell of a throw last night.
Man, Garcia is as advertised in the outfield. He really is. He's good. Covers a lot of ground. Has a good. But Bill, yesterday we played the sound of Bryce Harper, kind of a passive aggressive talking about getting booed at home. geez, did Bill Colarulo go off the reservation? He was not happy with Bryce Harper, and he let it be known. And I'm driving home thinking, I got to play this, and I got to get the reaction. Because I have a reaction to Bill's reaction.
I love a good reaction to a reaction.
Bryce Harper, passive-aggressive booing comments, and then we'll play Colarulo what he said yesterday. That's coming up next. It's Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Flyers win again. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. The Flyers with a 5-1 win over the Devils last night. Trevor Zegras, Tyson Forster, 2 goals apiece in the win. Nick Seeler with the empty netter late in the game to give the Flyers the 5-1 victory over New Jersey. They are still third in the Metro Division. Those chances for them to make the postseason continue to go up following the win. They'll be back in action Thursday night against the Red Wings. The Phillies lost 6-0 last night out in San Francisco. Christopher Sanchez, tough one for him, but really the defense behind him more brutal for him as the Phillies bats did not come alive either in that game. They get a chance to win the series today with Aaron Nola on the mound with .340 the first pitch out there in San Francisco. And earlier today, Adam Schefter joined Kincade, Salciunas and talked about everyone's favorite topic, A.J. Brown.
The Eagles and Rams were further along at one point than people realized. And at one point, I remember thinking, boy, there's a chance it's going to get done with the Rams.
And it did not get done with the Rams. We continue to wait to see what will happen with A.J. Brown. This update is also brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Victims of drunk and drug driving. Your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP or visit MAD.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
I mean, it even happens at home sometimes. So, it's part of it, So I think, I'm used to it.
Even happens at home sometimes. We played it yesterday, and what was our reaction? I don't even remember. There was no reaction.
It was late in the show. I remember you played it, and I was like, he's having fun. I don't think and you know what? After, again, you replay it, and then you hear what Bill was saying, because I was listening on my way home. I thought a little differently about it. I won't lie. But it was at the end of the show yesterday. We were obviously having a lot of fun, a lot of juice yesterday, a lot of electricity, as always, 10 to 2. And it hit me a little bit differently. And not so much, I think the big talking point for us, or the question you asked was like, was it genuine? Do you think he had that one built up in his mind and he was ready to use it? And there was also the other one about fighting with the team, right? Or fighting teammates. There was another soundbite we played.
No, and we all love each other.
Yeah,
what did he say? All right, so play with so Colarulo heard that.
Okay.
And this is what he said yesterday on Unfiltered.
So here's why I'm annoyed, all right? I get booed everywhere I go, and then he has to throw in. It even happens at home sometimes. Now, he's not wrong. He did get booed in the opening series. That was the first time that I can remember in the 7 years that Bryce Harper has been here in Philadelphia that he has ever been booed by anyone. Bryce Harper has been the golden child since he got here. He does no wrong. Everything he does is right, and he gets a free pass in this city up until this season. So why does he find the need to throw in there in the clubhouse that throwaway, yeah, I even get booed at home sometimes. That bothered me. Am I just being a hater?
Yes.
Wow, Bill. I love it.
So I texted him, and I said, there's no doubt about it that was Donovan McNabb-esque.
Yo, absolutely.
It was passive aggressiveness where Joel Embiid does it too sometimes. He'll say, oh, well, there's 4 other guys on the court, but if you want to blame me, blame me. Donovan did the same thing.
Correct.
There's 21 other starters, but you want to blame me, blame me. No, what you're saying is there's 21 other players. Why are you just blaming me? I'm only one person on the team, right? So Bryce was hurt. Can we be honest? So here's what happened. The story comes out, and Devin Caney, actually, I believe, was the one that started didn't she kind of start the ball rolling on, like, he could be traded in the offseason, right? Like, if you remember, that's kind of where the talk started about, and Ray, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it was the Sherman Heyman New York Post.
But there was something before that, because Sherman and Heyman said what? That don't be surprised if...
Right, that, hey, like, this could be them walking the path down. I go back and find exactly what they said.
Yeah, because Devin was more with the Reese Hoskins deal.
No, it was earlier.
Okay,
I'm talking about in October. Not when I was in Disney World when I heard all that.
Never mind.
But there was talk about Bryce Harper potentially being traded, and it was never anything real.
Yeah.
But Heyman and Joel Sherman talked about it, and then there was like kind of is this? And Dombrowski had his comments. This all was started with Dombrowski's comments, and then there was talk about, well, maybe Bryce Harper could be traded, and maybe there's issues with his contract and all this other stuff.
Correct. Yep.
Because when he first spoke, Matt Gelb talked to him after that when he first spoke about it, and you could tell that he was hurt because he said, like, I've done everything. I've done everything right. I've been the biggest champion of the Phillies, and he's right. Since he signed here, Bryce has done everything almost perfectly, hasn't he? He's embraced himself to the city. He's embraced himself to the sports culture. The even what he said 2 nights ago with the Flyers, go Flyers. He did everything meticulously and perfectly. A lot of people thought that it wasn't genuine, that he was being disingenuous and everything. He's just such a master panderer. And I always said, well, would you rather him not do that? Would you rather him not support everything? And I honestly think Bryce is, because at 16 years old, he was being told you're the next great thing. He drops out of high school so he can get drafted early. He's playing in the big leagues at 19 years old. Even though he caught a lot of crap in Washington, and by the end it was time for him to go, in Philadelphia, he was the golden boy. He was the golden child. And for the first time in the offseason, people started to turn on him. And it upset him then. And clearly, him getting booed, and we talked about it. This wasn't some media creation. The tide has turned a little bit on Bryce, and he heard it just like you did and I did and everybody else. And I think he's bothered by it. And more than that, Ray, I think he's actually hurt by it. And that's when he says it. That's when he says it right there. It's like, even happens at home sometimes. And then he kind of laughed. No, he's hearing the boos, and he knows that they're there, and he knows they're different than just a reaction boo.
Yeah. Look, this is year 15 for him, I believe, in the majors. He's seen it.
He's not that old, is he?
I think this is year 15.
You're 15?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not that old because he started young.
That's exactly. And he's seen it all. And for the first time in his career, he's being questioned by people of importance.
You're 15.
Yeah, like that's what it comes back to. You're right, though. I totally agree with everything you're saying. First of all, is the woe is me, and then it does come off a little McNabbish, no doubt. And, he's hurt by it. Sure. He goes 0 for 4. He's struggling. He wants to come out there and knock the cover off the baseball, and he doesn't deliver for the home opening series. And I told you in that game 1, I felt it. People came at me. There were very few people that agree with me. I got friends that I kind of trust a little bit with the conversations that we're having, and they're a little bit down on Bryce Harper because of the struggles in the playoffs, and whether it's fair or unfair. I'm just telling you, I felt the awkwardness. I felt the tension in game bleeping 1, all right? So then here we are now. It's more of the same. Of course, he did have a great game 2 nights ago. Last night, not so much, although he did come through with a base hit, if I'm not mistaken, later in the game. Still, though, he's hurt. You're exactly right.
And you know what, Ray? You know who I think helped accelerate the conversation? The general manager.
Absolutely.
When he planted the bug in the fans' heads of only Bryce knows if he's elite anymore. Just a totally unnecessary conversation that Dave getting comfortable up there and talking, he ends up saying, this is part of it. I'm telling you that there's a certain segment of the fan base that wouldn't have thought about that thinks Bryce Harper's great. Bryce Harper had 27 home runs last year.
Really good season.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, it wasn't the MVP type season that he's had before. That happens from time to time. But the general manager questioning whether or not he can be that player anymore is about as dumb as anything that I've ever seen or heard in Philadelphia from an executive. It just is. And I expect more from Dave Dombrowski, who is a Hall of Fame executive in Major League Baseball. He's just going to be, right? So, and by the way, is he being a baby about it? Like, okay, yeah, like what Bill's saying, was Bill bothered by it? He was. I kind of just shrugged it off. Bryce is a sensitive guy.
Yeah.
He's never been booed by us before like that.
It did somewhat happen, if I'm not mistaken, Ray, in the playoffs against the Dodgers again, just to a point. I think we were booing everybody, right? They were struggling. But
that was a reaction boo to me.
Correct. It's a continuation, though, is my bigger point. And Bryce, with the offseason that he had, we know it obviously had an impact on him because day 1 down in Clearwater, he comes out firing. Oh, let's talk to the media. I want to get my take out there. Does the podcast. They don't question it. He brings it up.
He brings up the elite stuff.
He knows what he's doing.
But he also wanted to make sure he talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to get it off his chest. For everybody out there, I can tell you this, and I have not spent a lot of time with Bryce Harper. I've interviewed him a couple times in person. I know people that are I don't want to say in his camp, but that are around him, and he's a genuinely good dude. And to the people that are on the beat, Bryce will routinely come up and be like, hey, like, did you get everything you need? You didn't get a chance to ask me a question. Or he'll even say, like, hey, like, not tonight. I'm not feeling it tonight or whatever. But, like, he has a good relationship with the media. He's thoughtful with them or whatever. I honestly think that his feelings were hurt.
Yeah,
as crazy as it is that to say Bryce Harper, I think his feelings were hurt, and he's still feeling it.
Well, he's done everything right here. Man, he's rocking the Fanatic.
All right, so this is what
elbow
I want.
guard.
Yeah, he's the cleats, the elbow guard. He has represented Philadelphia like a true professional. All right, I would love to get some reaction on the phone. 610-632-0975. That's the text line, the Davis Honda text line, and that is also voice memos. The man himself to my left, Bill Colarulo, who stirred this pot yesterday, and by the way, just to say, and of course you're coming at the end of the segment, so hang on.
Those are my favorite Air Max.
But I've heard on more than one occasion Bill Colarulo, who obviously has gripes with Bryce Harper. Well, how come Joel Embiid is treated unfairly and Bryce Harper is treated differently? Well, maybe because Bryce Harper shows up and Joel Embiid doesn't. I didn't hear Joel Embiid talk from Colarulo. Bill Colarulo coming up in a second. Your phone calls, your text messages, and Scott Borster in the Inquirer and talked about an extension for Bryce Harper. Bad timing. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Phillies offense.
Correct.
He's a Flyers fan, and he hates Bryce Harper. He's a Flyers fan, and he hates Harp.
The fact that you are blaspheming against Sirianni Love by changing the lyrics is absurd.
On the fly. I didn't even think about it until he played it. All right, so let me say this, all right? Your friggin' Joel Embiid take where you're trying to pit Embiid against Harper, where you're being like, poor Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is a creep, and we saw it with him not showing up to the team activities and then blaming everybody else. Oh, I just want to play basketball. That's the reason why I feel about Joel Embiid. And you can say what you want about Bryce Harper. You never have to worry about Bryce Harper with that kind of crap.
No, and I give you that. Like, Joel has bothered me at times. There's no doubt about it. I made the comparison before when Bryce Harper said, I've done too much for the city, that when Joel said it, he was killed. But you're right. A lot of the criticism towards Joel is warranted. My problem with what Bryce Harper said the other night, when it was just a throwaway line that he gets booed at home sometimes too. One, nothing Bryce Harper does is a throwaway. Everything he does is calculated. He is so concerned with his brand that he would never have said that if it wasn't an already premeditated comment. And what bothered me about it that I said yesterday, and a lot of fans disagreed with me, the Philadelphia fan, the way they are viewed nationally, is constantly about how terrible of a fan they are, right? They still bring up the snowballs against Santa, the booing, everything, every opportunity that they get to put the Philadelphia fan down, they will. So Bryce saying that, the national media, Philly fans, they even boo Bryce Harper. Here we go again. It's like, no, the Philadelphia Philly fan in particular has been a tremendous fan during Bryce Harper's tenure. They sell out that building every single, it could be a random Tuesday against a terrible baseball team, and there's 40,000 plus fans.
That's not true, but to your point, Phillies fans have been very loyal, and in particular to Bryce Harper. This is the first time he's being booed. You might have had reaction boo during the playoffs last year.
You're right, it's reaction boo.
But this was at the early games when they were struggling. This was directed at Bryce Harper,
and it's the first time.
Now,
and it's a lot of line.
I mean, whether it's out of line or not, his feelings were hurt. When you say it was calculated, I agree that he wanted to say it, but how do you fit in that you got booed? He was asked the question, but he made sure he put it in there because his feelings were hurt. And let me say this: I blame you because you say that
Bill,
I'm standing up for the Philly fan who is disrespected. No one even knew he said it until you started yelling about it yesterday. Seriously, I would say 99% they're on the West Coast. They're in San Francisco. You bring it up. Now I got people texting me being like, would you tell Colorulo to shut the hell up?
A lot of people were mad at me.
I got the 20. Give me a 20 here. I blame John Marks because he's the one that played the audio in the first place.
Yeah, you played it first.
But I played it to laugh. Is that how you heard you? That's not how you heard it, though.
No, I heard it live.
Okay. Right.
I heard it live. I stayed up. I was watching it. I was supporting my man Ricky Bo doing pre and
Me
post.
too. I heard it live as well.
I fell asleep.
Here's what I'll say to you. And it just shows you, even a guy like Bryce Harper that's been multiple MVPs and is considered one of the best players of his generation, future Hall of Fame or whatever, you can see that something like that from Philadelphia still bothers him. You can see that he's as sensitive as anybody else in the world.
Oh yeah.
And that's what you saw, and that's what that line was. That wasn't to take a shot at Philly fan. That was him he was upset after it was Devin Caney brought up possibly trading him, and then Joel Sherman and who else was it? John Heyman talked about him possibly being traded or something like that. When he talked to Matt Gelb after that, he talked about, you had said it with Joel Embiid. He said, I've done everything for the Phillies.
Yes.
And from his perspective, he has.
All right, so then let's put another example then, because I also made this comparison yesterday since you're going to the Joel. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl. He's been a Super Bowl MVP. He's brought you to 2 Super Bowls. He's made the playoffs all 5 seasons he's been a starter in this league. He gets criticized more than any professional athlete probably in the city of Philadelphia.
How about the country?
Nationally as well. I have never heard Jalen Hurts say a word about Philadelphia Eagles fans. And he would be justified in coming out and saying, why am I being disrespected? Look what I've done for this city. Look at the amount of games I've won for you. Look at the Super Bowl I brought here. He's never done it. If he did, even in a throwaway comment, if Jalen was like in an interview, well, I mean, I even get booed in Philly, he would be crucified the next day.
No, agreed.
But Harper does no wrong. And it bothers me that he is somehow Teflon to criticism. And when he throws A little subtle shot at the Philadelphia Phillies fans who have treated him with kid gloves for 7 damn years. It bothered me.
Well, Hurts is an extreme example, and you're right. Honestly, it's amazing that he's handled the way that he has. Because this isn't the first time. It's every year. Even after he won the Super Bowl, the friggin' flagship station would put him on a top 11 list for Philadelphia sports athletes. I mean, seriously, how pathetic is that? Yep. And I didn't think he was a starting quarterback in this league. I would have traded for anybody. I would have drafted anybody else. I was wrong. Jalen's handled himself amazingly. Bryce Harper's a baby. That comment right there, he's acting like a baby.
It sounds like John's just as angry as I am.
No, but he's acting like a baby. So what? So what? He had a human moment, Bill. He's done everything else right, and you're picking on him because he had a human moment?
Well, he acted
like a baby?
The funny thing was yesterday, that wasn't supposed to be a big part of our show. Like, I just brought it up, and then for whatever reason, as soon as I said it, the phone lines went crazy. The text board went nuts. Everybody wanted to come after me. That was part of the reason that we kept talking about it.
Yeah, you're mean.
Philadelphia Phillies fans, but they almost proved my point. God forbid you say anything about Bryce Harper. The phone lines blow up. How dare you?
Because it was
Stop
unjustified.
saying this, Bill. Stop saying this about poor Bryce. Like, that's what I don't understand. Why are all these people defending Bryce Harper to the extreme?
Because
he panders.
But see,
he delivers, though. Come on, man. He's had a great run with the Phillies since he's come here.
Did Jalen Hurts deliver a Super Bowl?
No doubt.
Sure did.
Right?
Yeah, but you're trying to compare Hurts and Harper. I'll tell you, you're exactly right. It's amazing the way that Jalen Hurts is treated.
You're not wrong there.
And Bryce Harper's been treated pretty incredibly by the fan base. I can't think of anybody outside of maybe Chase Utley that has not been criticized really at all. But
we
now
talked about it yesterday. Chooch.
Chooch never got booed.
That was my one.
Just want to pinch his cheeks. Chooch. But even Vito, gatekeeper Vito. Mike Vito, who had said no. We were talking during the break, and he goes, "Oh yeah, and Bryce said go Flyers." That panderer, so he's supporting one of the teams in town, and he gets criticized for it. Like, give me a break. You're a gatekeeper too, Vito. God forbid Bryce is actually supporting a local team. I mean, Jesus, what are we doing? That's stupid.
I didn't have a problem with the Go Flyers, but it was a pander. I mean, come on now.
Or maybe he just supports the teams.
Yeah, he's supporting the teams.
He's always done that.
All right, I'll be a gatekeeper for a second. Where was the Go Flyers a couple weeks ago? Where was the Go Flyers?
When they were losing 12 of 15 heading into the Olympics?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Where was the Go Flyers a couple months ago?
Yeah.
He didn't say it after.
I'm only kidding.
He's also a Vegas Golden Knight fan. We know that. And Nashville as well. He's been seen at games.
No, I had no problem with the Go Flyers.
Yes.
But he is a pander, but it doesn't bother me. And I think I heard you say on the way in, okay, he panders. Would you rather him not do that?
Correct. Would you rather him roll in the games with Yankee
Would you
caps
rather
on?
him be Jalen, whose teammates hate him, and they think he's a total jerk and he has no personality?
No, and listen, I don't want to come off as this Bryce Harper hater. Bryce Harper has done everything right since he got here, and he does play extremely hard, and he cares.
Yes.
I just don't understand why he's treated so differently than other athletes.
I texted you. It was Donovan McNabb level passive aggressiveness in that comment. I heard it as well. All right, so we got to go, but we're going to play. You didn't chat this yesterday. We have our parody song contest still going on for 76ers tickets to the final game of the season. You were involved in one of them yesterday.
I didn't hear this yet.
Play it. Yeah, listen.
Hey, Ricky, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Ricky, Bobo. Hey, Ricky, Bobo. Hey, Ricky, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Ricky, Bobo. Hey, Ricky, Bobo. Hey, Ricky, we all love Unfiltered Show with you and Silvano and the other guy blows. Hey, Ricky, you want to tell us about the Phils? Guys like you, Ricky. Oh, won't you do it to us, Ricky? Won't you do it to you, Ricky,
Right, that's
Ricky?
good. There you go.
Hold on.
That was Andy in Lambertville.
Yeah, that's Andy from Lambertville. I recognize his voice. He called the other day. I couldn't get to him. I actually went out there, picked up the phone, and talked to him personally.
Yeah.
He's taking a shot at me.
He sure did.
But rhymes, so you got to work with what you can do.
All right, there he is,
Nice.
Bill Colarulo.
Hey.
He's coming up at 2 o'clock. Go get ready. Go get some price.
Big show coming up.
Go
Chris
get some
Pronger
price.
coming up this afternoon.
So you have Pronger, Stark, and McManus.
Wow.
What a show.
That's a three-headed monster.
All right, so get your parody songs in. We have the 76ers tickets. Get them in. We have a couple more to play, but that's the Davis Honda voice, the text line, and then you can send voice memos on the text line. That's how you do it. It's 610-632-0975. Coming up, Rory McIlroy, Troy Aikman, and an all-time Doc Rivers story. I can't wait. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Flyers win again. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. And brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. The Flyers with a big win over the Devils, 5-1. Trevor Zegras, Tyson Forster, 2 goals apiece. They remain third in the Metro. Those playoff chances continue to skyrocket for this Flyers team. As for the Phillies last night, they lost 6-0. Christopher Sanchez, tough one for him, but really the defense behind him was tougher for him. Made it difficult for him to get through the start. The Bats silent in this one. They go for a series win today at 3:40 with Aaron Nola on the mound. And earlier today on Kincade and Salciunas, Adam Schefter joined the show and talked about just how close the Eagles got to dealing A.J. Brown to the Rams.
The Eagles and Rams were further along at one point than people realized. And at one point, I remember thinking, boy, there's a chance it's going to get done with the Rams.
It did not get done with the Rams. You can listen to that entire conversation with Schefter on our website and the Fanatic app. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Hey, we're back. Middays with Marks. John Marks, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn. You're getting another chance to win $1,000. Text the word, or the contest keyword is event, E-V-E-N-T. E-V-E-N-T, event. You have until 25 minutes after the hour to enter it on the Fanatic app at 975thefanatic.com, or text it to this special contest short code, 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in this company-wide contest. Winners will get a call from Beasley. Make sure to answer your phone. Contest rules 975thefanatic.com. Fanatic Parlay Cash stood up by Iron Mountain Men's Health. 5 chances to win each weekday. 8 a.m., 10 a.m. with us, noon with us, and then 3 and 5 p.m. Good luck again. Text the word event to 45911 or enter it on the Fanatic app or at 975thefanatic.com. Hoo-ah!
Well, that was fun. You actually got me thinking a little bit on that one. I hate when Bill makes me think like that.
Bryce Harper's a baby. Join the club.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, like just. And by the way, it was one freaking little comment.
I know, but
and the idea. So I'll let you finish.
Yeah,
the idea that Bill's like, oh, well, the national media is now going to start killing Philadelphia. Nobody nationally heard any of that. No one's talking about that.
It did happen a little late night on the West Coast. Maybe if it did happen at a home game, he says that.
It was okay. Yeah, no, agreed.
All right, but I just think again, you know where I'm going. The Jalen conversation, and that it bothers me a little bit. Bothers me, man.
So Jalen should be applauded for his professionalism and how he handles the criticism locally and nationally.
Absolutely.
He gets it from we don't protect him here, and you get Chris Sims and everybody else nationally. We kill him here.
He gets plenty of protection, though, right? Like
from who? Dude, Literally, the flagship radio station
I wasn't.
is creating fake takes to bench him.
Yeah, no, you're right. I wasn't. I was talking more so from a fan perspective. But when you talk about media members, Ruben Frank defended him pretty well this past week. There's few. He deserves more.
I hate to do the broad brush comparison.
Yeah,
because you're right. No, there's a lot of people with level heads that can be objective on Jalen Hurts. It doesn't have to be one-sided that he's the best quarterback ever. He won the Super Bowl, so you're not allowed to criticize him. And it doesn't have to be bench him or trade him or get rid of him. There's middle ground between that. It's not one thing or the other. But with with Jalen, the facts are the facts. I don't know how you dispute it. There's something to what he's doing that's just that they have a great roster around him. He's been to how many quarterbacks have been to 2 Super Bowls that just suck and they're there along for the ride?
That's my point. When that caller called in yesterday, I was like, all right, if you're going to tell me he's average, then let's talk about the league. How many averages? What other quarterbacks are below average? I'd love to hear that thought.
Right.
And how many average quarterbacks make multiple Super Bowls?
Right. Ray, Mike Sando of The Athletic yesterday brought up Russell Wilson and then brought up Eli Manning. They're both weird cases. Eli Manning probably gets in the Hall of Fame. He's a Super Bowl MVP twice and beat Tom Brady. Russell Wilson doesn't get in the Hall of Fame, I don't think, but also won a Super Bowl, right? So, there's not Russell Wilson may have fallen off a little bit. He's still had a great career. He's still a Super Bowl champion. So he's in the same conversation as those guys.
And ironically, he's probably a Super Bowl lock if he decides not to throw the football.
Right. Yeah, he almost won 2. So he's in this Jalen's
Tom Brady.
Right.
And
Jalen
Manning.
Same thing. And then he fell off. Same thing could happen to Jalen Hurts. Listen, I'm not telling you Jalen Hurts it would be my choice number 1. But sometimes we got to get over our opinions and trying to be right and just being fair. So honestly, the most impressive thing with Jalen Hurts to me is that he has weathered a national and a local storm of constant criticism. And even being a Super Bowl MVP and winning a Super Bowl, people will literally say, oh, well, so what, he won a Super Bowl MVP? Oh, he was doing another Super Bowl. What are we talking about here? He's not, you can criticize him all you want. They won 11 games last year. He's 5 for 5 in the playoffs. I mean, Jesus, how many quarterbacks, seriously, I meant to do that last night on ChatGPT. How many quarterbacks that went to 5 straight playoffs, current quarterbacks in the NFL have been to the playoffs 5 straight years? Mahomes didn't do it last year.
It's a good question.
I'm going to ChatGPT it, but
it's going to give you some wrong answers too.
Well, you always have to fact check it.
Tell you Phil Simms. He's not current. He's not current. What's going on?
All right. Well, before we get to all that, 12 o'clock hour of the program is always brought to you by Service First HVAC. If you're in the market for a new heating and cooling system, how about 0% financing for 48 months? Rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. You can learn more. ServiceFirstHVAC.com. News and Noon with Ray. It doesn't matter what comes in the world of sports. The News at Noon with Ray Dunn. Bad Athlete Podcast, Angry College Coaches, Innocuous and Random Topics. The News at Noon with Ray Dunn. The News at Noon with Ray Dunn.
The News at Noon with Ray Dunn.
That's right. It's the News at Noon here. We're going to start with something that makes Sean very happy, something that makes John very annoyed. We're going to start with golf.
Yes.
Rory.
Masters Week, boys.
Yes. Last night was the Champions Dinner.
Yeah.
Rory gets to set the menu for it, and he was asked, why? Why didn't you go with more Irish cuisine?
But also wanted it to be something that all the other people in that room would enjoy as well. People keep asking me, why didn't you go more Irish? And I said, because I want to enjoy the dinner as well.
Wow.
So, as an Irish guy, I could say it. He's right. You know, we talked about this St. Patrick's Day.
All right.
I'll do the corned beef and cabbage one day a year.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's only one day a year.
And I will always say there is a restaurant in Fishtown, Murph's, that is an Irish bar with Italian food, and I think that's how we should operate as a society.
No, but like you said, the Irish bar cuisine is, I mean,
it's
for
a
me,
Guinness.
for me, well, no, me it's for once every 10 years. But you can get a shepherd's pie and things like that taste good. Yeah. But if you're talking about the meal, you ain't going Irish cuisine.
No.
And I don't know what he picked.
Now, how does that play back in Northern Ireland? You know, do they frown upon that joke? Is that okay? I'm curious. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't know if they're sensitive like that, or do they agree that peach.
I think they laugh it off.
All right, so you ready for it?
Yeah.
The Sun reported this is the most expensive Masters dinner ever, coming in at $264 a plate. All right, so no. Well, this is what he went with.
Right.
So it's not Irish fare. It's for appetizers, pizza, ricotta, flatbread, rock shrimp tempura, bacon-wrapped dates, and grilled elk sliders. For the first course, yellowfin tuna, capriccio. The main course includes Wagyu filet mignon, seared salmon, traditional Irish champ, sautéed Brussels sprouts, glazed carrots with butter brown, crispy vanilla onion rings, and for dessert, sticky toffee pudding with vanilla ice cream and warm toffee sauce. Now, if I was your waiter, I just spit all over your table. Are you ordering anything from me, or are you just leaving the table right now? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, who is this guy? Can we get the manager? Who is this stuttering idiot?
Yeah, that's why I stayed behind the bar. That's it.
Good for you.
Yeah,
it sounds like a good menu.
Yeah, not bad.
For sure. I know that those crazy Kelsey brothers on their podcast, they came up with their menu.
Oh.
And it was like Uncle Larry's fish sticks, and it was
All right, well, just give me
then they voted on who had the better menu.
Ooh, I like that. But just give me your main course.
Steak.
It's got to be steak, right?
Steak.
But I got to do
a good steak, not the banquet wedding steak.
No, yeah, you go to
Wagyu.
Wagyu filet mignon, and I would give you the choice of fish too. Seared salmon. I think he nails it.
I don't want fish. I want seafood. I'm going shrimp scampi or some type of jumbo grilled shrimp or a lobster tail.
So you do that in the appetizer, or were you going?
That would be main course would be surf and turf, whether it's shrimp or lobster. Anytime I go out to a steakhouse, for the most part, if you're doing one of the high end steakhouses, I love Eddie V's. Even if I go with the just like a smaller lobster tail, got to do it, man. You kidding me?
Absolutely.
All right.
Hungry now.
All right, we're going to move here, and something that I know we're going to end up bringing up what you're talking about when it comes to Doc Rivers. We will get you the audio from ESPN yesterday. Shams sitting on the desk talking about Doc Rivers inside the locker room. What Doc Rivers has told us is read between the lines. He wants to see his grandkids. Is Sunday going to be his last game coaching in the NBA? This was his answer to that question.
Well, I won't answer that, but I have grandkids that I want to see. I'll put it that way. And so I'll let you figure it out from there. I have 7 grandkids now, and they're all 8 years and under. And it kills me every time I miss Grandparents' Day with each one of them in school. And it's probably time to go see them more. So I'll let you figure out the rest.
Oh, please. And you're getting fired.
What's Grandparents' Day?
That's the day he misses every year because he's making like $15 million a year to be a coach.
Oh, it's that Sunday, September 13th. I did not know that day existed.
Sunday, September 13th?
But they'll have it at school.
That's what I'm saying. He's missed the one at school.
Yeah.
If he's missing September 13th, the Grandparents' Day, it's just because he's on a golf course.
By the way, I hope Doc enjoys going to Grandparents' Day and his grandkids, because he's going to be enjoying them because the Bucks are going to fire him. Because he literally came into that organization. When Giannis gets traded, Doc Rivers has his fingerprints all over that.
Oh, yeah.
He just does. And I don't know what else to say. This guy is like, I find him funny and amusing, and any player that's ever played for him probably just laughs and rolls their eyes anytime Doc talks.
Whether you like it or not.
Right. And hopefully he doesn't screw the Sixers season by somehow they win the last game. I would doubt it with Doc.
Giannis comes back, wants to play with his brother.
There's no way they're bringing him back. No way. No way they should allow it.
Do you have the Shams stuff? All right, so a couple weeks ago, I guess this is when, it's kind of like the make or break. This is the crossroads of the season. Are we making a run to the playoffs, or are we going to totally fall apart? Doc called a team meeting. This is explained by Shams on ESPN.
In that meeting, Doc Rivers implored his team, according to 6 people in the room, to look at my resume and, quote, Google me. I took teams to the playoffs and championship that weren't supposed to be there. I thought this was one of them.
Wow. Google them.
One for good time's sake.
I mean, could you imagine the reaction? Because Danny Green rolled his eyes when he was saying it.
Yes.
But the reaction from the locker room some of the guys won a title there, and they're looking at Doc, and they've been with Doc now for a couple of years, and they're like, "Is this guy really up here telling us to Google him?"
Look at my resume.
Never his fault. Yeah, look at his resume. Never his fault. Yeah, we know the resume. How many times have you blown series leads in the playoffs? I mean, that's really the resume. He's a champion. He won with a veteran group. He had a long NBA career. Like, Doc should be respected. The way he behaves with that kind of stuff is why people don't respect him.
I agree.
6 people in the room. It wasn't 1. It wasn't 2. It wasn't 3.
He actually said 6.
6 different people in that room. How many were thinking about doing it and didn't do it? Go talk to someone about this. I mean, that's absurd. All right. Last one for you. And we're having obviously a big NFL conversation today about insider knowledge and their sources and the relationships there. We're going to take this to the broadcaster-team relationship because Troy Aikman was on a podcast and said, hey, the Dolphins are really smart for bringing me in. You want to know why they're smart? Because they're getting access to information that they wouldn't typically get access to.
I think the Dolphins were wise in understanding my relationships around the league and knowing that I have information that they don't have or can't get. And I think they were smart in taking advantage of that, whether it was through me or through somebody else. Right. The Cowboys have never elected to do that, at least with me. Right. You know, maybe they have with others. But no, I don't feel there's a conflict. But I will say I'm pulling for the Dolphins because now I have something at stake. And I think they hired 2 really talented, wonderful people.
So, to be clear, on Sunday, Fox NFL Sunday, your game of the week is going to feature the minority owner of the Raiders. And a guy on Monday Night Football, your commentator will be, hey, I'm going to get some information here for the Dolphins they can't actually get. An advisor that now is clearly has stakes in the Dolphins winning.
Yep.
Good stuff.
And it's totally fine.
It's a joke.
It's totally fine.
It's a joke because Goodell is not going to do anything. The owners run the show. The owners aren't going to say anything. Maybe there's a tweak next year. Who knows? But it really is those comments right there rub your face right in.
I love Troy Aikman. I think he's great with Joe Buck. It's a clear conflict of interest, and it's insulting that they allow that to do that. And frankly, Aikman, hey, listen, they're paying him a lot of money. Maybe he wants to run a franchise. I can understand that. I mean, it makes me, not that I look at Troy Aikman differently. I just don't know how he doesn't understand that you can't do it.
Oh, he understands. He doesn't care. No one's going to tell him he can't do it. And Tom Brady opened the floodgates. Look, when you say, quote, knowing that I have information they don't have or can't get, close quote, and that's what Aikman just said, like point blank, he's rubbing everybody's face in it.
It's one or the other. You saw what Matt Ryan did? Matt Ryan said, I can't do both jobs. And he's running the Falcons, and he's not staying on CBS. And he didn't even try. Right? Troy Aikman, you can't double dip. I'm sorry. I don't know how the commissioner allows it. It's an easy conversation. Troy, if you want to help run a team, you want to consult a team, that's fine. You can't be the lead you can't broadcast.
Yep.
You can't. Even if you were just a studio person on ESPN, then it's even a little bit different. It like you said, it goes back to the Rossini stuff. It's a clear conflict of interest. You can't be involved romantically with the head coach of a football team. I know that this has happened before and it's just never got out. This happened for a long time. These things have happened for a long time. Locally, nationally, whatever. It happens. Right? You put women and you put men together and people are attracted to each other and, like, who knows what happens? I mean, it happens. But, like, that's not what this is. This is so preventable. Hey, Troy, you can't be advising. You can't be running. Tom Brady literally might be the chief decision maker in the Raiders organization. They have a GM or whatever. It's believed that Tom Brady has the most sway and the most influence in that organization. And he's the lead broadcaster for Fox. How does that happen? And Goodell, it's like, nothing to see here.
Nope.
And so preventable. And so what's Brady going to do? Is he going to say, I quit Fox? So what? I think Brady's pretty good on Fox. I actually think he's pretty good. I enjoy when he does games. I'll still watch the games if Brady quits.
Oh, absolutely.
One or the other.
Yeah, I want to go as far as say that I don't mind Brady. I think he's improved. I think he's a good voice.
I think he really has.
Yeah, absolutely he has, and rightfully so. If he cares, then he should improve. The bar is pretty low from the first season. But I like if you had a commissioner that was actually a commissioner and not a employee for the owners, then things might be different. But we know how it works. Nothing's going to change. And they're just going to rub it in our face, and we're going to have to take it.
Yep.
I would just hope that these coaches now hear what these guys are saying and, like, maybe you don't send, your star quarterback in. I know they request it. Maybe, send a kicker in. Like they would do to us. Oh, yeah, we want Jalen Hurts. Oh, you want Jalen Hurts? Well, how about Brett Toth? Does that work?
Yep.
MVP, Brett Toth.
Yeah, hey, listen.
Sorry.
Also, if I could get a favor from the NFL, somebody.
Yeah, send him in the run of franchise.
Somebody hire him. Please. If we're getting rid of all the color commentators, somebody give Tony Romo a job.
Well, yeah, maybe the Browns will hire him because you're not talking about a good franchise that's going to hire any of these guys, at least Tony Romo. All right, can we do we want to start this up because we have Phil Martelli actually coming up at 1 o'clock.
How about that?
The Philadelphia legend. He's got an event coming up this weekend, but also we want to get his thoughts on everything. He was the assistant coach. He was the interim coach for Jalen Howard or Juwan Howard for a while. But Michigan wins it. But I want to talk Philly stuff with him. Phillies and Joel Embiid's behavior, etc. So Phil's coming up at 1 o'clock. But we want to get the parody songs out there, and we have the voice memos on the Davis Honda text line as well, because the best parody song is going to win 76ers tickets to that last game against Doc Rivers and the Bucks. Give me another parody song, Ray.
What's going on, guys? Sean Bernard here from Crossing Broad, and generally not a guy that would consider singing one of his greater strengths, but I did have some thoughts for our good friend Diana Rossini here, so I wanted to give it my best go. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no river wide enough, ain't no valley low enough to keep me from getting the scoop, AJ.
Ooh.
NFL insider at The Athletic. Holding hands in the hot tub with a head coach is pathetic. Non-existent personal and professional ethics. No amount of context could fix the aesthetic. It's 2026. You didn't think there'd be a spy? Diana, you better believe that Big Dom's always got a guy. Your poor Eagles fan husband, wondering why? Maybe A.J. Brown was never the bad guy.
Oh, Sean, there you go. Let's give him a round of applause for that. Sean Bernard, Crossing Broad.
Very good. Very good. Strong stuff. Strong stuff.
All right, what was worse, the Rossini or who was the executive, the CEO at the Coldplay concert? What was worse, Coldplay concert or Rossini? Because we didn't know who those two people were.
Correct.
It's worse for Rossini and Vrabel because at least the Coldplay couple knew in the moment their lives were changed forever. Rossini and Vrabel at least left that hotel thinking, wow.
Right. They knew there was trouble.
Yeah.
Right away. No, and they didn't even try to lie. They didn't even try to lie about it, right?
The Coldplay couple?
Oh, they did try to lie about it.
Yeah, I'm sure they.
Out of context.
And now that lady is trying to make money off it. I think she's doing a pretty good job too as well.
She
with
on
the
OnlyFans?
With the no, her feet's ugly.
Oh,
with the Woe Is Me podcast,
Oh, she
tour.
Woe Is Me
Yeah,
podcast.
that's what she's doing. Oh, this is.
They tried the same thing. Like, no, it was just taken out of context. And do you think the wife or the husband of those two agreed with that?
Nope.
That the context was just
nope.
Slipped on a banana peel and ended up.
I'm just curious. When's the last time you interlocked fingers with anyone other than your wife or your children?
Right.
Now, Ray and I, that's our pre-show handshake.
Right.
We like to dap it up, bang, bang.
Oh, you're not hugging and embracing and interlock fingers with somebody from the radio station or from somewhere else?
Dutch asked me to do it once. It was kind of weird. Man.
The best part, the best part is this was like a CIA hit piece.
Absolutely.
The fact that they got somebody, he was probably on a roof, and he got, because you don't have access to where he photographed them, and that's a camera. That's not an iPhone that they zoomed in on. That's a camera probably from like 200 yards away.
It's one of those.
And they nailed him.
One of those outdoors cameras that just roll. You're trying to catch black bear.
It might have been Black Gritty from blackgritty.com because he is known to be a private investigator, and Black Gritty from blackgritty.com joins us right now. What's up, BG? Did I get him not ready?
Let me tell you. Over Easter weekend, my daughter was subjugated to go to a Devils game with her grandfather and her uncle, and she sent me a picture. She was so mad they made her wear a Devils T-shirt, a family Easter thing or whatever. She's like, Dad, I don't want to be here. And I'm like, it's okay. So last night we're watching the game, and I don't live tweet or anything about the Phillies or the Flyers right now because I'm trying to live my life, but she's texting her grandfather trash talk and about the Flyers, and it felt so good. I'm like, you get to enjoy this. You are so young, and you have not suffered. You don't know the suffering. So that was just great watching her trash talk the family. Now, let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Russell Wilson, was he on the Super Bowl game with the legendary jacket with Tom Brady, Peyton Manning? Was the other Eli Manning there? He wasn't there, right? Because he don't set no records in Super Bowls. My quarterback does in both Super Bowls. So he got the little jacket with the blue and white with Jerry Rice and all the legends right there. So don't compare my guy to the Russell Wilson or anybody else you want to put his name with. Don't talk about my guy. Franchise QB number one. Okay, now the Rossini, the rotisserie, what are we doing out here in these streets? I want to know. Oh, Mikey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You rub on my. Hey, Vrabel. Hey, Vrabel. I'm trying to figure out. Is it collusion, coercion? Goodell, I need the FBI, the CIA, and my mama to come out the grave and find out the truth because we can't handle it. I don't know what I'm supposed to believe. You trying to leverage A.J. Brown for free? You trying to drive the price down? Oh, no, sir, Bob Howie Roseman. You go out there and you get 3 first-round picks because that's what we do, baby. And Bryce, thank you for choosing me. But you better watch your mouth out here because we're going to boo you every chance we get at home right now because you're in Sixers land. We need it all to get one and done. I love you guys so much. Hey, Sean, I see you out there on the internet too, baby. Keep doing what you do. Have a great day, guys.
There he is. Black Critic, who is a contributor to Philly Baseball Talk.
He's the man.
There he is.
He is, as you just heard, a ball of energy, but he's entertaining as hell on that timeline. I'll tell you, last night was the best time I've had on social
Long
media
time.
in forever.
Yeah.
It used to be happening a lot more frequently. A lot changed, obviously, in the world, but...
What, there was NFL insiders getting caught sleeping with NFL head coaches. I saw a lot last night where people were like, well, Vrabel should be more ashamed than Diana Rossini. Like, he's more at fault than Diana Rossini. Really? See, every guy out there understands how, as a guy, how you operate. Oh, like beautiful woman. If you're not faithful to your wife, beautiful woman. Like her, are you telling me she just couldn't keep her hands off of Mike Vrabel? He's too sexy.
Oh yeah,
she couldn't help herself. He's got a pencil in his ear.
Yeah,
chewing on a pencil. He's like a gym teacher with a freaking whistle. She couldn't help. She couldn't resist Mike Vrabel. Give me a break. That's the difference. Dumb guy that's an animal cheating on his wife, or Diana Rossini, who clearly is doing what she's doing.
Yes, and also real quick on the Rams and the A.J. Brown, did she have that? Was that her report?
No.
Okay, all
What
right.
I'm saying, because she's not messing around with anybody with the Rams.
All right, because somebody came on the timeline and said they did, and that's where the McVay...
Well, that's not what Adam Schefter said this morning.
All right, gotcha, cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, shame on them both, but I'm with you, John.
Well, and we'll play what Schefter said earlier, because it was, the guys had to ask it, and I thought thought he gave a good answer. All right, that's coming up. We have more parody songs, lots of Harper text from our talk with Bill Colarulo. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about my hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration. I just actually was looking ahead to next week. So I got to get my hair cut. Got to keep it tight. And that's what you do when you love your hair. And that's Morgenstern Hair Restoration. So I had a hair transplant. I still see them. I have routine maintenance that I go in for every year. But right now, if you book a hair transplant, you get a free Alma-Ted treatment with your procedure. That's $1,000. No needles, no pain. And it helps support the rest of your hair so everything blends naturally. But I went hair transplant. Guys out there, and I've spoken to many listeners that say, hey, I'm not really looking for a hair transplant, but I don't like where my hairline is going. I don't like the shedding and the thinning and the balding. Well, that's why you go to Morgenstern Hair. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. Your hair loss is different than somebody else's, and they're the experts in the industry when it comes to hair. They've been doing it over 30 years. Get a hold of them today, 610-831-HAIR, 610-831-HAIR. The website's morgensternhair.com. That's Morgan with an E, morgensternhair.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Flyers win again. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Flyers won 5-1 over the Devils last night. Trevor Zegras, Tyson Forrester, both with 2 goals in the game. The Flyers with another victory see those playoff chances go up, still remaining third in the Metro Division. As for the Phillies, a 6-0 loss last night out in San Francisco. For the Phillies, now a chance to win the series later on today with Aaron Nola on the mound after they took that first game on Monday night. They've split the first 2, a chance to get the third game today. And Adam Schefter earlier today on Kincade and Salciunas joined the show talking about A.J. Brown and where at one point it looked like he might have been going.
The Eagles and Rams were further along at one point than people realized. And at one point I remember thinking, boy, there's a chance it's going to get done with the Rams.
It did not get done with the Rams, and we continue to wait for June 1st when things seem like they'll pick up with A.J. Brown once again. This update is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, develops better athletes, better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
last night?
First one of the year. First one in Major League Baseball. It was a pretty good one. Jorge Soler. Who's the Braves pitcher? Lopez? Was it Lopez?
Ronaldo Lopez.
Thank you. Yeah. Good brawl. Late night brawl.
Manager tackled Soler.
Yeah, Walt Weiss took him out.
62 years old.
Yeah.
Ran in like Doc.
And his excuse after the game, I guess his explanation for it after the game was like, I was afraid he was going to hurt someone.
Yeah.
Because he's a big dude.
As Lopez is swinging at him with a baseball.
With a baseball in his hand. Yeah. It got wild.
Also, the one thing I immediately noticed was the catcher for the Braves, and I tweeted about this last night, not a foxhole guy. Not a foxhole guy at all. He wanted no part of trying to help out his pitcher, Jonah Heim. Hit him in the Heim. He hit nothing. He was scared.
Yeah, I'm watching I didn't notice the catcher before you bringing it up.
Yeah, it's
also last night. I forget what game. Did you see the big fat guy on the foul ball?
The Rays game.
His pants came down. Yeah, Google it real fast. So there's a foul ball down the first base side.
And the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, so it's
Rays
like
Cubs.
It's like first. It's like first base side, like one of the first section towards the field. And it's down. It's on first base side, but it's towards like the outfield.
I got it.
And it bounces. There's nobody sitting in the seats there in Tampa.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. That is straight up full moon. That is pants to ankles.
Yeah, he's overweight.
Yeah, he's a heavyset man.
So it's easy for the pants to come down. So he goes scrambling for the ball.
If you're the producer in the truck and you see that, you are just in shambles.
Or you missed it.
He looks like Uncle Vito.
If you're not paying attention close enough, I mean, who's really watching? Like, you could have taken your eye off of the TV for a second.
That is hysterical.
I don't think the Cubs broadcasters missed it because I think there was dead silence for about 15 seconds of just how do you react to the full moon out there.
Classic. Poor guy. He had his glove. Trying to catch the foul ball.
And his pants going up.
You got these really nice seats. You're thrilled about your Tuesday night.
I'm tweeting this out right now. I'm going to tag 97.5 middays, but at Sean_Brace. Unbelievable. Great stuff there.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. All right, we have so we have what do we want to do here first? Right, we want to do the Kincade pushing Schefter on the Rossini thing. All right, John Kincade doing an excellent job this morning. Their weekly hit with Adam Schefter, and they went Diana Rossini. Here it is.
I'll speak to the A.J. Brown situation. I don't think there's anything different there for me. Did Diana report something that I don't know about with A.J. Brown? I don't remember that.
She has the most stories, most how about this? Most tweets directly on this story.
Yeah, well,
on the coverage of this
also.
story, and now that seems very suspicious to the fan base because of this relationship with Mike Vrabel. Whether it's personal, whether it's professional, whether it's misunderstood, this now adds a whole nother layer of intrigue to the story here locally as far as how close is she to this story.
Yeah, and what I would say is, again, the way I do my job is I weigh in when there are things that matter and when there's news. There have been plenty of trade talks that have gone on that I've known about. Like, let's put it this way. How about this? The Eagles and Rams were further along at one point than people realized.
Sure.
Was that out there? Was Diana on that? Were other people on that? I don't know, but it was. And at one point, I remember thinking, boy, there's a chance it's going to get done with the Rams.
Wow.
And he didn't report it until it got reported later, because I guess he thought he's not going to put it out there. I mean, I don't know why he didn't put it out there. Maybe because he was told not to.
I'm glad we played that because I didn't hear that this morning. Great job by John, and of course, on the show. But
no, and John's right.
Yeah.
And actually, what Schefter said makes it even more alarming that it's like, well, Rossini didn't have the Ram stuff. Oh, because was Rossini messing around with Les Snead or with whoever? Like, I don't even want to say the names, but
I hate to give Rossini credit on this one. She did have the Rams as
she
one.
did. That's my point. Yes, thank you. All right. So, with that being said, dude, it's terrible. She's got to go. Get out of the NFL coverage, period, end of story. Get her out. That woman is completely toxic with what took place in D.C., all of those stories that I
So the story from D.C. in 2015, the GM's wife put out on social media, and I don't know the exact, maybe you can help me with the context was, Diana Rossini, she gets scoops because she's sleeping with my husband.
That is correct.
And then she deleted it, and then she apologized. She didn't say what I said was wrong. She apologized for saying it, I guess.
And it has been following her. And it is very unfortunate because there have been multiple times. We've been doing this a long time. Yes, here's the tweet. From Miss McLaughlin. She tweets at Diana Rossini. Please tell us how many, can I say BJs, you had to give to get this story, and did they laugh at you before or after? I'm pretty sure this info is coming from my husband to his new side chick, Diana. It's confirmed. Like, this is just wild. And that is from somebody inside the organization, from the formerly known as the Redskins, as significant.
GM's wife.
Yes. And so here's another one. Since we're going ahead and throwing it out, the greatest hits. There was a report in 2015 that then Sean McVay, who was with the Commanders, with the Redskins, apparently had two girls that he was hooking up at the same time, two reporters, and they ended up fighting.
So not at the same time, but he was seeing two people
and they didn't
separately.
Know. However, they came to blows at the training camp coverage at a late night bar stop. And apparently one was Diana Rossini. Now, again, allegedly, all right?
Are you reporting this, or this has been reported?
This has been reported. This is out there. But this is the issue with this, John, and this goes back to what you were saying. These things pop up all the bleeping time. And what do I say to it? I go, come on, man. Like, don't be sexist. Like, just let it go. Like, that's, people like to make things up all the time on the internet. Unfortunately, this one always smelt a little differently. Let's just put it that way. And she has moved up through the ranks, and we now know caught and just red-handed on top of a honeymoon suite in the middle of the desert, overlooking Red Rocks with an NFL head coach. She has to go today, and never, ever cover the NFL again. I never want to see this woman on my timeline ever again. Go work on your family.
I wonder what happens with it. Seriously, because
she's fired.
So I'm
immediately.
I'm texting with a buddy. So he went to Bonner. Her husband went to Bonner. I knew he was local. I knew he was an Eagle fan. I assumed he was local.
There's all that talk. Yep.
I just get so his family. That means his family lives here. I mean, just what a mess.
Yeah, terrible.
What a mess. I feel bad for the two young kids and everything else. But it goes to there was nobody. There's nobody that I heard that I never seen he pissed off more than me.
No,
because I knew she was such a phony and a fraud. And now this comes out, and then their reaction to it. And I mean, you could have said nothing and then just pretended it didn't happen, which I may have done. But they come out with this statement, and Mike Vrabel calls it laughable.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure his wife's laughing at it. No, what's laughable is, they're trying to deny it. I guess that's the only thing they can really do. I'm not surprised with the way that she operates. And this is how she operates. I mean, I could see in slow motion. It was so crystal clear what a fraud she was. And she is.
Yep.
She is. When you hear sleeping your way to the top, I would almost never say that because it's so wrong to say.
Same.
Is it really far-fetched to think she slept her way to the top? I mean, Jesus.
Nope. Not in this case.
Oh, my God. The video, the shorts that she had on, the video of interviewing Mike Vrabel. Holy cow.
So now I want to take it a step further, if I could, real quick. Just as the Inquirer, I know we're up against it. Or the Inquirer, excuse me, the Athletic. And how they handle this. Because I thought that they handled it poorly. For coming out and having a statement like they did put out from the editor? What are you doing, dude? You can't say that if it's not real, if you don't know that. It happened way too fast for them to put that out there. This dude Ginsburg, I would look at him and the way he's handling.
It was out so fast, too. They didn't even wait for a day.
I wouldn't trust him handling anything moving forward.
Well, his tone might change after 24 hours.
I was tweeting him last night. I was peppering him. I told him to DM me if he needs some PR help.
You're crazy. All right, coming up, more parody songs and some text to get to, and Phil Martelli coming up at 1 o'clock. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
The Flyers are red hot and looking to keep moving up the standings and
with Marks. We've got Mark, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn, Phil Martelli. Yeah. The legendary St. Joe's coach joins us at 1 o'clock. He's got an event coming up here this weekend, and just want to get his thoughts. He coached at Michigan for a couple years. Team won the national championship, but also the Phils. Is he a Bryce Harper hater like Bill? I don't think so.
Text line, not thrilled with Bill still.
All right, well, give me some of that.
Yeah, we got people say the Bill is a dope, needs to relax. The full context of the Bill is a dope here is that Harper got booed in D.C. by Nats fans when he was a national, and boos started last season. People tear him apart on social media. He simply stated a fact. He hears some boos at home.
Yeah. Ray, did you think that it was what do you think about it?
Oh,
the comments.
It was a get back at the fans.
Was it a get back, or was that just a human moment where his feelings were hurt and he feels like, is he bent out of shape over it? I mean, obviously it bothers him.
Yeah, but Bill's right when he says, sorry, threw up my mouth there saying that.
How about that?
Bill's right when he says that Harper's calculated. Like, he knows what he's saying. I think right there he's saying, hey, yeah, I even hear boos at home. I don't think he's telling us that we're a bad fan base.
I disagree. I agree with that last part. I disagree. He was asked a question about being booed in San Francisco. Why would you have thought a boo question was coming out? They didn't ask him like, hey, Bryce, what'd you have for lunch? Oh, I had a chicken sandwich. Oh, they booed me in Philadelphia. He was asked about being booed, and he brought, well, I'm even hearing boos at home. I don't think that was calculated.
Right, but he was asked about an elite sandwich, and he made it into a Dave Dombrowski answer.
Because he wanted to say that.
Because he connects things. You talk about him getting booed here, he's used to hearing boos. He's trying to tell you, yeah, I hear boos. It's nothing for me. I'm all good. Leave me alone, type of thing. The way he told us he was unbothered all offseason by Dave Dombrowski. I don't need motivation.
Did you believe that that didn't bother him? He said it bothered him.
Right, but he's also bothered by being booed.
He said that he didn't want to be motivated. I'm not disagreeing with you. He is. His feelings are hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not going to crush the guy for being bothered by being booed.
Correct.
Because I'm a human.
Right, unlike Colarulo.
Right.
Well,
I don't like being booed.
No, it's just amazing because Bill has definitely had this whole thing with Bryce because I've argued with him a couple times. In fact, the All-Star day that we had, he started going in on Bryce and trying to defend Joel Embiid, and then very quickly conversation was squashed because it's like, okay, well, has Bryce Harper ever had a teammate that had to call him out for being late to quote everything, and then it got leaked to the media because the Sixers are so fed up and they don't know how else to get him? Or that he had bags of Shake Shack, and then I read the Shake Shack menu that they used to have to bring him on the plane, whatever it was, 5 cookie sundaes and all these different things.
You know what's funny is that Rossini's husband works for Shake Shack.
I was going to say.
That is.
I can't believe Shake Shack came up about a bead today.
Also, when I was tagging Russ, I was like, a hell of a day to have Russ on the show because as I threw RUSS in on social, first name that popped up was Rossini.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're on her page a lot, I guess.
No, definitely not.
She's trending.
She is trending. Both names, first and last.
Has there been anything from the Patriots today?
Do you think they're going to say anything to this? This is nothing. This doesn't even register on their radar, bro.
Sure it does. Their head coach got caught canoodling with an NFL insider.
You know.
They didn't say anything last night.
It's the Patriot way.
So Rossini and they obviously knew this was coming out.
Yes.
Because they were quickly prepared with a strategy and what they were going to say.
But so she had some stuff on her timeline 6 hours. Like you could tell she was giddy. She was promoting some stuff. So I don't think she found out until yesterday.
Well, maybe she didn't know when it was coming out. But, Ray, you would agree if the post is coming out, they're going to ask for a comment from her.
Immediately they come out and say what she said. Yeah.
I would think that they're prepared. I just don't know what you say.
I think
pictures of the pictures.
I think it happened pretty quickly. I don't think she saw the pictures. She was business as usual yesterday.
This was also last week. So the pictures weren't right. These pictures were 2 weeks ago.
It was
last week was the
March 26th.
Yeah, so this didn't happen on Monday, and now it's Wednesday.
Correct. I think she got word yesterday. You know how the Post works, how they operate. They don't, do things the right way most of the time.
You're right.
They had to have some heads up because they were sourcing this. You know, the person that knew that they were on the trip to
the friends had comments. Yes.
Right. Oh no!
That's not that. No, we were
Mikey
hiking.
just likes taking long drives.
Yes, they knew it was coming out
with the boys.
I literally fell to the couch.
I couldn't believe it. Of all the things I thought I was going to see last night, wow is right. Wow. And now, how many videos are going to come out of her being flirty? Wow. And the suspicions are going to be how many times has she worked her way up?
Yeah. And
seriously,
She's ripped her husband.
Yeah, I feel
multiple times. There's videos popping up now. She said something about get up about if my husband wasn't so average, I'd post about him all the time too. I'm like, this girl is terrible.
I know. All right. Do we have more parody songs? Because we have these Sixers tickets we're giving away at the end of the show. We got to get to the parody songs. Best one. We had some good ones yesterday. We had some good ones today. What do you got, Ray?
Vrabel took a trip that was far away. All of a sudden there's Diana. She had champagne and some strawberries. Well, Mike brought his banana. I don't want to trade for AJ tonight. Well, why not? I don't want to trade for AJ tonight.
Dude!
That might be the winner.
Andy, back-to-back days.
Is that Andy in Lambertville?
Oh, wow.
We need to hire him as a content creator.
Wow, is he good? That's the outfield, man. Your love. That's such a good song. That was unbelievable. Nice work, Andy.
Andy and I, we have, and it's kind of scary because I met Andy. We have similar brain matter.
It's terrifying.
Andy came to our broadcast, gave us the pack of cards?
Yes.
That dude.
Yes.
Dude.
Yep.
Nice work, Andy.
YouTube chat recap. Hey, he's always on YouTube watching us. We appreciate him.
It's the man.
Any more there, Raymond? What do we got? I know Angry, maybe we can do an Angry Al did a voice memo.
I think there's one more. There should be no name on it. Yeah.
All right, good.
Yo, Big Cat. Yo, D. Open up, D. Yo, what you want, D? My Eagles fan hubby just caught me. Wait. You made him catch you? I don't know how I let this happen. With who, D? The Patriots head coach, you know? PFT, I don't know what to do. Well, say it wasn't you. All right. Hubby caught me red-handed with the Patriots head coach. No sources to hide, just a vacation proof. Funny how the truth hits different in a swimsuit on an NFL work trip committing adultery. How can anyone believe anything from me? Caught you on the rooftop? It wasn't D. Poolside getting cozy? It wasn't D. Holding hands in Sedona? It wasn't D. Now your source is real quiet? It wasn't D.
Wow.
I can't be following Andy, though. That was a bad job to make me follow
That was Sean
Andy.
Brace. That was great.
All right. But Andy was 10 times better. And, oh, by the way, I apologize. I needed to set it up because I was firing. I was just spitting hot fire everywhere. I figured that thought she would go on, like, part of my take and chum it up with the boys for a little PR help, right? And everybody was coming.
Oh no, she's not. She's not going on part of my
No,
day
she's
today.
she's not going anywhere.
No, yeah, she's gonna
I
be
said
gone for
Friday. So like that was my thing. Like, oh my God, what do I do, Big Cat?
Right. Hey, you move a little bit closer to Big Cat. Hey, let me shake my boobies in front of you. Like, oh my God, man.
That's what she does.
All right, coming up, Phil Martelli. We will not ask Phil Martelli about Diana Rossini, but we'll see what he's doing right now. He's got an event coming up, and always a good time to talk to Phil. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's talk about my garage floor, your garage floor. If it's cracked, stained, or peeling, listen, time for an upgrade. If you've been thinking about this, or just maybe you didn't think about it, but you're like, you know what? My garage floor does look like crap. Comer & Cross can transform your entire garage floor in just one day. And right now, check this out, 50% off installation. This is not epoxy. This is not paint. Comer & Cross, the floor is a gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift, and they handle everything. They will move your items out of the garage for you. They repair the cracks and the damage, and then they install a custom finish that looks like a showroom floor, and it's 50% off installation. Fast, clean, built to last. It's the perfect showroom finish when you come home. Call them today. Get more information, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. If your garage floor is like mine, stained, cracked, etc., 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or the website's comercross.com. COMER cross.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Another Flyers win. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. And last night, the Flyers with a 5-1 win over the Devils. Trevor Zegras, Tyson Forster, 2 goals apiece in the victory. The Flyers third in the Metro Division. We spoke to Russ Joy of Snow, the goalie, earlier on today. Talked about those playoff chances and what he expects the rest of the way.
I still look at it and say, you are vulnerable if you lose to Detroit. You win against Detroit, you all of a sudden ramp up the pressure on everyone else.
So that game Thursday night against the Red Wings, a big one for the Flyers. The Phillies looking for a series win this afternoon in San Francisco against the Giants. Aaron Nola will get the ball for the Phils in that game. They're coming off a 6-0 loss last night. This update is brought to you by AAA Tire and Auto Service. Save $15 off your next oil change, plus earn $7 towards your next service with Duramax dollars at AAA Tire and Auto Service. Offer ends April 30th. Visit AAA.com/mycar for details. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Middays with Mark, Sean Brace. All right, done. Sean Rodman hung around today. There's Negative Nate back. Is Negative Nate back there?
No.
Yeah, it's Rodman.
Rodman stuck around. Nate's, I think, getting the follow-up on the leg.
On the leg, yeah. All right, Brandon Dutz, we're all here today as the Flyers are they're on a roll. Not in the playoffs yet, but it's getting there. 60% chance, 65% chance that they win on Thursday night. That's really going to put it through the roof. So it's a big Flyers day today as the Phillies have been playing late. I don't know how many people have been staying up for that game, but they lost last night 6-0 after winning the opener. So later this afternoon, you have the rubber match of the series, as they say, Sean Brace.
Yeah,
off tomorrow and then home weekend against the Diamondbacks.
We didn't really have a chance to talk about Christopher Sanchez and what he said after the game. Alarms going off for you at all, or just a bad start? What are your thoughts?
A lot of hard contact last night. Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, you give up hits, you give up hits. Sometimes it's fluky.
Mm-hmm.
Last night there was a lot of hard contact. Now credit to him for limiting how many runs he gave up.
Yeah, and a lot of those hits came with 2 strikes, which is unfortunate. But it was uncharacteristically an outing by Christopher Sanchez, to say the least.
Yeah, I think you have to. You reevaluate what you're doing because scouting reports come out. It seemed like in a couple spots they were sitting on a changeup. So if your go-to pitch with 2 strikes is a changeup, well, everybody's going to know that. And, all right, it might be difficult to hit it, but at least you know you're staying back on it. So now maybe, I don't know, operating backwards, pitching a little bit differently than you were, you got to make adjustments. So if guys are sitting on your changeup or sitting on your fastball. You just got to make some adjustments. But ultimately, as long as he's healthy, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he gave up 10 hits last night.
11
hits last night. Yeah, it was it sucked. I had Sanchez plus 5.5 strikeouts and the Phillies money line. Now he had 6 strikeouts. Phillies didn't get a run, so they didn't win.
We talked about foxhole guys. How about Marchand running out and grabbing that ball from Kirkring?
Yeah. Yeah, good job by Kirkring coming back.
Baseball gods.
Woo! Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they're back at it, and then Diamondbacks this weekend. And, so from there, the 76ers and, Sixers, got to wait till Thursday for a Sixers game, which kind of stinks. It'd be nice to have the game tonight. Instead, we're double dipping tomorrow night. But the Sixers right there, more or less, it's not going to be easy. I don't feel necessarily great about the 76ers' chances, at least maybe not as much as I did before. But
can I ask you a Sixers question real quick?
Yeah.
If Joel Embiid wanted to play, Joel Embiid told us that before the season that it was up to him anymore. If he wasn't going to play, if he doesn't want to play, doesn't feel like it, right? Remember that article?
Yeah.
So if JoJo comes out and says, I want to play in this game tonight.
Tomorrow night.
I'm just saying from the weekend in the back-to-backs.
Yeah, he plays.
Okay. I agree.
He plays. No, this is Joel Embiid's decision. Okay. Everybody that's reported on it has pretty much said this is Joel Embiid's decision.
So when people tell me it's not up to Joel Embiid, he didn't play in that Detroit Pistons game.
Joel Embiid has dictated everything with the Sixers.
I don't understand why it's so hard to come to an agreement with
Why can't we just admit that?
Yep.
And you can say that, and I've even halfway defended him that based on what happened last year when he was playing and he didn't look healthy and they kept pushing him to play, this year he says, you know what, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not playing back-to-backs. There's a difference between playing back-to-back in Game 17 and Game 18 than Game 77 and Game 78.
Totally agree.
And if I need to explain that to anybody, I can't.
Right there with you.
All right, Sixers get back at it on Thursday, but, man, this is pretty cool. Phil Martelli, former legendary coach of the St. Joe Hawks, was in Michigan for a couple of seasons. They win a national championship on Monday night. And a pretty cool event that's coming up here on Sunday, April 12th at Holy Family University. We'll talk about that coming up in a second. With Phil Martelli, he joins Middays with Marks and Sean Brace and Ray Dunn. How you doing, Phil?
I'm doing terrific. How are you guys?
Good. How many of the players that won the national championship, we know with now you can transfer whenever you want to and NILs, how many guys did you coach that was on the championship team?
3 of them, 2 played. Namari Barnett started, and Will Cheddar was a rotation guy. And then there was a Harrison Hochberg who was a walk-on, and 5 of the student managers. Now, you have to recognize that Michigan, when I was there, we had 26 student managers. Wow. Five of them are left. The office administrator, I've talked to her. Equipment manager, I talked to him this morning. SID, I talked to him. The guy that runs the building out there. So all of that kind of support staff, and just they're unbelievable people. But the three players, I've been in touch with them. I was in touch with them when they went to the Final Four. I've been in touch with them often, but now when they went to the Final Four,
right.
And then at the Final Four, I talked to them, and then they were sending me pictures and late into the night Monday, because I did not stay. I came home Monday morning. But it's it was an unbelievable place that, because they pursue championships, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So to see that come to fruition, they truly are, and have been for a long time, a blue blood.
Yeah, it must have been pretty cool for you. You were there from 2019 to 2023, but a lot has changed since. Excuse me, 2024. A lot has changed. A lot has changed in those short 2 years. I mean, so from your perspective, and you were a head coach at a successful university, and not a large university, for decades. What does this do to college basketball? What is the NIL and everything that's happening right now? What does that do for college basketball from a head coaching perspective?
Well, it makes you, if if you don't have the term, it makes you a general manager, a player acquisition. When you used to be a player transformational figure, now you're a player acquisition. You build a team every year, as opposed to when I was doing it, you were building a program that over the course of time, you would say it's going to be this going to change lives. Right. I'm not saying that they aren't changing lives, but it is. I mean, look at the numbers this morning. That portal's been open for a little over 24 hours. 42% of the kids playing college basketball are transferring.
Yep.
And the money, and some of it is, and I know you guys are going to find this hard to believe, but sometimes on the figures that you see on the internet, I didn't know this. I thought all the information on the internet was all true. Now you find out that some of that is false. No, some of it, they're making some of those numbers up.
Interesting. I remember when I heard Nick Saban, we're talking to Phil Martelli. I remember when Nick Saban retired, and there was a story that came out, and he was saying that after they lost the national championship game, I mean, the game was barely over, and he had a player that came out, and like they're already talking about playing time and like how much playing time am I going to get next year? It's almost an impossible situation from a head coaching standpoint because you're recruiting, you're getting guys there, but now they're getting paid, and if they're not getting playing time, they're going to leave, and like, I mean, it really is. It's a professional program now. You're not dealing with a college program.
And one of the things, those that we are making a mistake with is we keep leaning on NIL. There's two different things going on. One is revenue sharing. So revenue sharing is where you can take part of your budget up to $20.5 million and split it among your scholarship athletes. Okay, that's one thing. Now, most schools that don't have big time football are not getting to 20.5. So your school is picking a number, and then you're dividing that number among your men's and women's basketball, your scholarship swimmers, your football, whatever it would be. And then there's NIL, and NIL is pay for play, and that your boosters, your businesses in your area are saying, we would like to pay this person X amount of dollars for Y. And there's supposed to be a Y, right? X and Y. We're going to pay X dollars for Y, which means appearances, talks, commercials, whatever it would be. But there's going to be fatigue. There has to be fatigue. These companies can't have like endless amounts of money. And then the other part of it is for a coach, it shortens your leash because if I'm a guy and I write you a check for, let's pick a number, $500,000 and say, you know what, my expectation is that you will be a tournament team, at least a tournament team or a second weekend team. And the minute that you're not, I look at the people from your development, from your collective and say, I'm not giving. I didn't give you that money for that result.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Change your coach.
Yep. They have a lot of power. We're talking to Phil Martelli. The 39th annual All-Star Labor Classics coming up this Sunday. Holy Family University bringing together some of the top high school basketball talent from across the Philadelphia region. It's a day of competition, community, and purpose. So you have the Union against the media, and then you have Boys City against boys suburbs, and then the girls city schools, the All-Stars, against the girls suburbs. And it's great because each selected student athlete receives a $1,000 college scholarship. And overall, the event has raised over $250,000 in support of the superhero project. So it does a lot of good in the community, Coach.
It's really it's amazing. I just, for the players, first of all, they have to be nominated by their high school coach. And the nomination is based on their academic performances, their basketball performances, but also their community commitment, right? What are they doing in their communities? Not just playing ball. That's one thing. The Labor Classic, I just want to change that because the media has gotten a little bit older and they're not hooping as much. We've now changed it into the Legends of Philadelphia. And there are guys who have played at Big Five schools. There are guys who have played in high school, played in the event, went on to college somewhere else, and they're coming back to play against the union guys, and then followed by the boys and then the girls. And that component about every player who agrees to play, they get selected to play. They're then asked to spread that among their family and their friends. And that number, I think, is now closer to $300,000 for a charitable donation. So kids are asking for $5 and $10, and people are signing up. Yet you have some of the kids have raised over $2,000 for the charitable wing of the All-Star Labor Classic. And the beauty is you can sign up for tickets, and don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. But it doesn't cost anything to get in. But we still want you to sign up for tickets, right?
You got it.
If you come there, but don't tell anybody, please. But it's free. Come in, enjoy the hoops, and this charity. Like, if you read up on it, if it doesn't pull at your heart, then you need to check your pulse because you might be dead.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Phil, I know we'll get a thought on the Phils here coming up in just a second, but I just want to talk nationally real quick because obviously VCU ended North Carolina's run, and VCU is coached by Phil Martelli Jr., and they just went and hired, the Tar Heels went out and hired Mike Malone, former Denver Nugget head coach. And out of the UNC family, your thoughts on that hire?
Well, I think when you see a hire like that, not that it's not a basket. Not that Mike Malone isn't a basket. He's a basketball lifer, the whole bit. I think what it is a signal to everybody that Carolina recognizes this. This is professional basketball. Yep. So that in professional basketball, Nick Nurse, who is a basketball nut, he might not know who the third best player in the country is because he's concentrating on Sixers making the playoffs. But there's somebody in his staff. The same thing is here. Like, Mike Malone is going to coach the team at Carolina, and he'll do an exceptional job. He was coach of the year in the NBA. He won a world championship with the Nuggets, the whole bit. Somebody else is going to be in charge of, are the kids getting to class? What's the negotiation in terms of their contracts? What are they going to get? Where do they have to be to help the program? And truly, you're going to have these, and we do. The staffs are outrageously large, so everybody has an assignment. Mike Malone is going to be to coach that team to a championship level, and everybody else will take it. I'm not saying they're going to minimize any of those other things. No, the other people are going to be.
Yeah, they have a GM at schools now. It was crazy when you first heard that. It's like, well, they're hiring him as the GM of the basketball program. Like, what, in college? Yep. But what is it? It's a professional program with a budget and everything else as far as getting players. It's crazy.
And you guys didn't ask this, but my sense is that when this shakes out again, and it'll probably be another 3 years, maybe 5 years, when it shakes out again, the shakeout is going to be that it's going to become European, like junior soccer, right? You'll represent the club, and in this case, you'll represent your school, and then all of the other things will be geared to treating you as if you were a professional player.
Yep.
So, does the guy take Western Civ? No, he probably doesn't take Western Civ in 5 years, but he's going to take financial literacy.
Right.
He's going to take financial literacy. He's going to take public speaking.
Right.
He's going to take contracts. He's going to take. So they're going to be educated. It's just going to be
different.
You're not going to have to worry about, well, was it liberal arts or pre-med? And that's where I would think in the next probably 5 years, because some of it has to do with the TV contracts, both football and basketball. Football's broken away already, but basketball will eventually become truly the haves and those that can spend, and then the others. But the others will still be pursuing championships, which is really what this is about.
Right.
How do you help a young person become a better person, a better student, a better player, and give them the chance to pursue championships, because championships last your whole life.
He's spoken like a true coach.
That's right.
Coach Phil Martelli, since Sean brought up, I got to ask you, what was it like watching your son from now you're not coaching anymore, and I don't know if you're retired yet or whatever, but what was that like? What a big win, and congratulations. He's done really, really well for himself.
Yeah, and his brother's the associate head coach, so we have 6 of our grandchildren in Richmond, which is nice because they've chose the coaching path. They haven't all been together for any holidays or any summer vacations or anything. Now they're all together. So that's great. And I thought it was going to be, I'm good with this. I'm good. And then January the 10th, they lost and they were 11-6. And I started to think, well, they're going to be an NIT team, but the NIT isn't. That's not what VCU's about. Like, VCU's about the second weekend of the tournament. And I started to get a knot in my stomach. I was like, oh, man, this is such a great opportunity. And then every game after that, they were basically on the proverbial bubble. So my stomach got tighter and tighter. And it felt like game day. Every day on their games, it felt like the game day when I was coaching. And I would say to people, how are you? And I say, I'm tight on game day. And then when I would get to the game and I knew I could walk up and down the sideline, I would be all right once the ball went in the air.
Right.
But with them, it never went away. It was always this player, that player. And I never watch X's and O's. Because I'm not at practice every day, I can't comment on what they're teaching or their rotation or any of that kind of thing. The thing that I can comment on is how they treat people. That's all I watch. How do you treat people? Because I'll be darned if I'll ever because my sons have a position that calls them coach, that they can act the fool with other people. Nope. Give respect and then you get respect. But it's not the other way around.
Yeah, you did that for many years. Again, the 39th annual All-Star Labor Classic. It's this Sunday. Doors open at 11 o'clock. Holy Family University. Just check it out. Google it. Admission's free, but like Phil said, there's a way to get involved and to help donate.
Yeah, get signed up. Sign up for these tickets, and any of the young kids in the area, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, bring them in. Let them watch the action.
Phil, thank you. Great to talk to you. We'll talk to you soon.
You're the best, Phil.
All right, so fellas, I have one question.
Yeah,
I really have one question. I need all of your callers. I'm needing help on here because I am a Philly lunatic, not a fan. I'm a absolute lunatic. My man has to catch the ball in left field.
All right, listen.
He has to catch the ball. That's all I'm asking. Just catch the ball.
Did Ray Dunn, my producer, Ray Dunn, my producer, put you up to this? Because I'm the biggest Otto Kemp fan in the city, unfortunately.
Get in the zone.
Oh, seriously. Go have a catch with him then, please. Get fungos to him or something.
All right, Phil.
Really. Here's the whole thing.
Yes.
Here's the whole thing. And this is coming from an expert 8-year-old baseball coach when my kids were growing up. I'm saying expert, really. I would look at the kids and say, listen, all I want you to do is give the other team 3 outs every inning. And the little kids would look at me and shake their head, and they'd go about their business. And then some father would come over and say, well, what does that mean? I said, don't make any errors. If you just catch the ball and throw it and we give them 3 outs, we're going to win every game. That's all I want the Phillies to do. Just give them 3 outs every inning.
Yeah, they've been sloppy defensively to start the season. No, you're right. So hold on. Since you brought up the Phillies, think about Otto Kemp for a second. What is Dave Dombrowski doing? Bringing the Bryce Harper conversation, saying he doesn't know if he's elite, and then it starts the whole thing. You know how we are as fans. Now we're like, oh, maybe he isn't elite. Bryce has a cold start to the season. Now he's mad and everything else. Like, how do you explain that? You can't possibly support Dave Dombrowski after that.
No, I think he put it on the line, and I have I have in my Philly circle, I've challenged people and said this. Harper being Harper, he's going to end up top 3 MVP voters this year. He's going to be in the top 3 of the MVP because he's going to be so driven to show everybody. I'm all right with him. I'm all right.
All right, good. All right, well, next time we talk Phillies.
Yeah,
all right?
let's do that.
When you come on.
Whatever you need. Whatever you need.
Thanks, Phil.
I'm like everybody else in Philadelphia. I don't know much, but I have an opinion about it.
Oh, believe me, I've listened to you on the radio for decades.
That is awesome.
I agree.
Nice
all right,
work.
Phil. Good stuff, buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, see. I can't believe you tax Otto Kemp of all the things that he could say.
Dude, I didn't set that up. There was nothing there. I just said you're going to get into some Phillies at some point.
So if you don't know, Otto Kemp looked like me in left field on a ball last night. And that's not a compliment.
Run to the spot. Maybe I would have caught it. It was ugly. It was ugly across the board. Trey had an
Anyway,
error, right?
listen, we're late. Coming up, we have our knockout champion joining us in studio as we give him the trophy. And we have parody songs and voice memos and phone calls and everything else. Middays with Marks 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Playoff push continues. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Flyers beat the Devils 5-1 last night, continuing their push towards the postseason. Trevor Zegras, Tyson Forster, 2 goals apiece and the win. Their third in the Metro Division. Rush Joy of Snow, the goalie, joined us earlier and talked about the path forward.
I still look at it and say, you are vulnerable if you lose to Detroit. You win against Detroit, you all of a sudden ramp up the pressure on everyone else.
There it is, Thursday night against the Detroit Red Wings. That is the time for the Flyers to show up and put the pressure on everybody else right now in the playoff push. Phillies lost 6-0 last night to the San Francisco Giants. A chance to win the series today with Aaron Nola on the mound. That game at 3:40 as the Phillies wrap up a 6-game road trip before coming home this weekend. This update is brought to you by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, develops better athletes and better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Sean. And we do have a champion in studio. Real fast, though. My buddy Donnie Flacco texted me, and he just said that there's the 64th annual D'Onofrio tournament tonight at the quarterfinals tonight at the Fell in Conchock.
You damn right.
Top high school tournament around, a lot of D1 and NBA players.
Oh, yeah, man, every year. And that place is packed, too, man. It's a great time. Get on out, support.
Tonight. What's up, Donnie? Donnie, a listener to the program. But we're playing We Are the Champions because joining us in studio right now, as Sean will make the trophy presentation, is Daniel Brandy of Collegeville. He won the knockout tournament representing Sean Brace, Middays with Marks.
That's right.
So in all these other shows that were giving away tickets or whatever to the knockout tournament, a spot in the tournament, what do? We said, you know what? We're going to win this thing. Whoever is going to represent the show and win tickets on the show is going to win it. So we went on the air and he said, listen, you're not going to be the fifth caller on the contest line. I'm not giving this away on the text line. We need a good basketball player. And Tom, Daniel's dad, Tom, called us. And Tom said, hey, listen, both of my sons have already won the tournament. Hang on, how does both of your sons already win the knockout tournament? Well, I said you're in, and Daniel, who joins us right now, wins the tournament.
How about that?
In pretty easy style, too, Ray. I know Ray was watching.
Yeah, no, it was really impressive.
Yep.
Very easy for him.
Yeah. And Daniel, first of all, congratulations. We congratulated that night. I never even got the pictures from the night.
Oh, no. Yeah, I haven't seen them either.
Did we put it on social media?
I don't know.
I don't think we did.
That's a good question.
All right. But anyway, Daniel, congratulations as Sean Brace hands you the trophy. What does it say on the trophy?
It says 97.5 the Fanatic Philadelphia Knockout Tournament 2026 champion Daniel Brandy. Congratulations, sir. Nice work there.
Good work, my friend.
Yeah, man.
So you're a 2 or 3 time?
2 time. My brother won.
So you only won one before?
Yes. I won 4 years ago when I was a senior in high school, and now senior in college.
Look at that.
Now, is your brother older or younger?
He's younger. He's a freshman.
I can't help, man. Look at that coif. Look at that hair.
He's a hand.
You got great hair.
I would love to give you some. I would love to give you some.
Yeah, I need some.
Do you remember when we were young and handsome?
I never had hair like that.
I wasn't as handsome as
definitely not.
Daniel is,
Yeah.
but still, it brings you back to when you were young.
Look at the old man. The old man he's styled in.
Tom also joins us in studio, and I was just thinking the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Very handsome gentleman. You know what I need, Sean? You have a daughter. I have 3 daughters. Do you have any younger sons? Because I need to improve the size in my family. And I have a 4-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an 8-year-old. If you can tell me I can have a grandkid that's over 6 foot.
He's setting it up.
I'm in.
His brother is taller, but he's 19, so he's older.
That's too old.
Yeah, he's 19, so.
All right.
Hey, look, you said it was easy. I don't remember it being all that easy, Daniel, to win.
He made it look easy.
I mean, I definitely wasn't. I missed my first 3 shots. I definitely wouldn't say I came out firing by any means, but I mean,
you had the eye of the tiger, though.
I mean, it was fun. That's all you can ask for. I mean, I had a good time.
You had a strategy too.
I mean, I played in it twice. So I mean, the first year obviously I won it, and then the next year I came back when my brother won. That's I'd say it's a high advantage over most.
Because when it got down to the nitty gritty with 4 or 5 players left, I remember there was one time where you just got the ball and you immediately shot
funny
it.
Thing you say that. Me and my dad were talking about that after. Nobody picked up on it. Nobody shoots as soon as the other person shoots. And every time they would get to shoot it, I would shoot it exactly right after. Everyone waits till it hits the rim or whatever. There's no rules that say you have to wait.
That's correct.
So
I picked up on that. I saw it.
See, somebody gets it.
He had the eye of the tiger. There was a girl in front of him
who was nailing everything.
And he was
good.
like, I'm here to win.
Yeah.
So it was her dad and him right in front of me. Got her dad out, and I was like, oh, God, now she's in front of me, too. It was like she lasted 2 or 3 rounds. I mean, like I said, she was really good.
Yeah, she was.
I made a shot. I missed a shot, and then we were talking outside that was the longest rebound I had to have. And I didn't see her in front of me. I actually knocked her over.
Yes.
That's when the whole place erupted.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And boo me. I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. And
He looked over at me. He's like, I'm here to win.
I was like,
damn
guys,
it.
I mean, we're here to win. So, I mean, what do you want me to do?
So when your brother won, were you in the tournament?
Yes, I was.
So he beat you?
Yeah, well, I got bounced in the second or third round. I didn't even come close to, I think it was second or third round. So I never even got to shooting next to him.
Gotcha.
So technically, he didn't do anything. He didn't knock me out, but
some of it's dumb luck. Who's behind you? Like you said, if you miss a shot and caroms off the wrong way and then somebody nails it.
I mean, we were saying it all comes down to luck. I mean, you get partially luck. Like if
To a
you have a
point,
bad
yeah.
miss, that could go all the way to the corner. You're no doubt gone.
Right.
So if you play it where you're going to soft bounce off the rim and get a quick putback, I mean, you'll be just fine.
See, that's strategy.
Yes.
And listen, Tom, we were looking for exactly what you delivered. We want somebody that wasn't just going to go there thinking I'm going to hit every shot. There has to be a strategical point and knockout. Very strategical game.
When I called in the next day, I said, when we sat and watched, my wife and I, and say hi to your mom because we promised.
Hello,
say
Mother.
Hi to her.
Hi,
Anyway,
Mom.
there were some players. I mean, you don't realize how many people are in that tournament. Oh, yeah. You said like it's 100, it looks like 150, and it's lined up a mile long.
Yep.
And you're watching, and there were some guys did not miss. You either had the guys that played basketball that were like 6'5" and didn't miss, or you had the guy that closed his eyes with the worst form that didn't miss. So that was that was your tournament. So it was like, if you can get through all that, and you're watching, you're like, it was great to win before. It's like, for the fun of it now. And then you're like, the line's getting smaller and smaller. Like, there's no way. No way. And then when it came down to the final two, we're like, oh my God. It's like, I'm trying to film. Like last time I did a good filming job, this time it was horrible. So when they told me it was live on YouTube.
Not a single second.
I know. When I went home and I basically just filmed it off the TV live on YouTube. I'm watching. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I really, did a horrible filming job. I'm like trying to watch it and film. It's like, didn't happen. But it was great. I mean, the talent, that's the deceiving part. Because you pick people just like caller number 5 or whatever, the way you guys, you picked your contestants. Other hosts didn't. And then all of a sudden you bring everybody together and you're like, there's some
players,
talent.
yeah.
There's some talent.
There's sure. And Brandon Lee Gouton's 6'9", the Bleeding Green Nation. He said, so even if he misses, he's pretty much
right back
you're
up.
not
I
allowed
remember
to dunk it.
that guy. There was other guy that he finished like top 10. He was the guy who was like touching the rim every time he put it back up. How are you supposed to beat that? But luckily, I think one of the younger girls got him out too. I was like, that's like we got to the final 10. I was like, okay, that's
some
guy
young girls
I
that
gotta
miss.
look at.
Drilling it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Drilling it.
Oh yeah. I think the final 4 was like, I think she was like 14.
Correct.
Younger for sure.
Yep.
So I mean, she was definitely knocking her shots
Well,
down.
listen, it was a lot of fun.
Hang on, we got some inside information coming in real quick. Were you a wrestler?
I knew this was coming up.
A professional wrestler?
Who was that, Kathy?
No, it's not. Salvatore Sincere?
That's true.
WCW?
Well, Tyrone was behind all. Tyrone was a big wrestling fan.
Okay.
So he uncovered that right away.
And he knew that you were a former. Were you a jobber in the WWE?
No. Full time.
Look
WWF.
at this guy. Yeah. Look
I'll
at
show
this
you
guy.
pictures after. I'll show you pictures after. But
who did you wrestle?
Wrestle for WWF.
No, but like, give me some names. SD Jones?
Undertaker.
What?
No, the Attitude Era. So Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, The Rock. So I wrestled The Rock on his very first match on Raw.
No way.
I'll show you pictures. I never bring it up because it's like,
Well,
it's my son's.
Yeah, it's his shine, no
It's his
doubt.
shine.
Oh my God! I'm looking at a picture. Are you wearing pink tights
That's
and a
it,
pink
baby.
hat?
That's it.
The fedora.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Just dropped
My
a new
first
beat.
wrestling figure just
dropped.
came out after 40 years.
Yes, it did.
My first wrestling figure just
Absolutely.
came out after 40 years. So anyway, like I said, that was.
Do you still watch now? Because Romania's coming
Just
around.
follow it. Just like what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I'll be out there next week in Vegas for Mania. We do like a convention.
Awesome.
But just small doses.
We crushed it here in Philly.
Yeah.
That was a great
Yeah,
time.
it was
So
phenomenal.
you do the conventions where you go to, and Virgil doesn't have a line, but you have a line, right? The famous picture of Virgil.
Yep.
No one wanted his autograph.
Yep.
He just passed away too. The
He
late
did. He was a good friend of mine. But yeah, so 40 years is a long time in the business. So you wrestled. I was one of the few guys that actually wrestled The Rock and his dad. I was
Rocky Johnson. I loved Rocky Johnson.
That is hysterical.
I was an Iron Mike Sharp guy because he had the loaded,
Love Mike Sharp.
the loaded brace on his
Wrestled Mike
arm.
a lot of times.
He was a jobber, but they would let him
Mike
win
a lot of times.
Yeah.
Mike was a great guy. But no, I mean the guys were phenomenal because if you were in WWF and then you were in other companies, you could have been the champion of the other companies. Like guys came from Memphis, like Jerry Lawler, all those areas.
Yeah.
They came from. That's when there was like territory wrestling.
Sure.
And that's what made WWF great was the big names coming from the other areas. Phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Well,
Legendary.
Look at that. That's good. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's good knowledge.
We appreciate the shout out from our listeners out there. Nice work.
There you go. All right. Congratulations. You have an automatic entry next year.
Let's do it. Let's run it
Well,
back.
you know what? Let's get I know your other son was away at college there, Tom, but we got to get him in too. Let's load the roster up next
That's
year.
right.
All right?
That's right. Middays with Mark.
Stack the competition.
Congratulations. Listen, when we need a wrestling insider, I know the Blue Meanie But we're going to have you on as well.
Very good friend. Very good
That's
friend.
awesome, dude.
Very
Salvatore Sincere, everybody.
Yeah.
Daniel, congratulations, buddy. Appreciate it.
The best.
All right, we'll come back. YouTube, chat, recap, and more. We're going to give away the 76ers tickets as well. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, listen. I was talking about this earlier. You got to get the Flyers gear. You know the Flyers right now, you got a pretty good chance to make the playoffs. Check out Ray Dunn coming up on Sunday.
Who the hell is Ray Dunn?
At Rally House. Rally House, the best sporting good products you will ever see. So they're kicking off Philadelphia Phillies birthday celebration, the most beloved mascot in the entire sports world. So join Ray and the Fanatic broadcasting live from the Rally House at the Britton Lake location. That's 965 Baltimore Pike in Glen Mills this Sunday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Help celebrate the Fanatic's 48th year. Plus, listen, 4 $100 Rally House gift cards will be given away during the live broadcast again. This Sunday, 10 a to 1 p with Ray Dunn, the Rally House in Britton Lakes, 965 Baltimore Pike in Glen Mills, PA. Check them out.
Got something to say about
Oh no, I want a lottery ticket. I want boozer status with the two twins at Duke. That's what I want. You know, it's tough.
Always got boozer status.
Yeah, that is a good call by you. I am thirsty. It's only Wednesday.
I can't tell you how many times we've had a listener or somebody that comes in the studio and it's like, they're like the light goes on. They're like, hi. Meanwhile, those guys seemed like they were professionals on the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel was good talker, and then former professional wrestler. I'm not surprised.
Great family, and very cool that they're listeners to the station, obviously the show, and supporters, man. Very cool.
Salvatore Sincere. That's awesome.
Legit just showed us of him wrestling Undertaker.
Yeah, he has a picture where the Undertaker's laying flat on his back like Al Cole.
Did he win that match? Did you? I don't. No, he couldn't have.
I don't think so.
Undertaker ain't losing that one. All love and respect to Salvatore. He was also known as the Patriot at one point in time.
I remember the Patriot.
Do you?
I do.
I watched WCW. I was a fan of WCW. Lex Luger, right? I mean, Sting, of course.
Yeah, it's been a while since
Vader.
I watched wrestling, but I watch it on Instagram every day. But it's from the '90s. And
I was out. Yeah.
Big Van Vader.
Look, I'm all about Mania's coming, and let me tell you, John, there is a guy, Oba. Is it Oba? Oba is fighting Brock. He's wrestling Brock Lesnar, and this dude is he's got my attention.
Oba.
Is it Oba? Let me see.
You should do a digital preview on WrestleMania for YouTube.
Oba. Yeah, Oba is a star in the making.
Really?
Yeah, he's
I know you've an eye for wrestling talent.
I get a little caught up every time around this part, like this time of year.
You do?
Mania's here. Let's go.
I love talking about I like the bad wrestlers more than the good wrestlers when I watch the WWF. When I say, you know what a jobber is when I say a jobber?
Yeah.
A jobber is the guy that always loses.
Yeah.
Like, and then
Brooklyn Brawler.
You have the better Steve Lombardi. You have the better jobbers that sometimes they allow you to win.
Yes.
But then you get the ones that never win. Like Tony Guerrera was like an okay jobber.
I don't even know if they have those guys anymore.
I don't think they. Well, in the dark matches, they may have jobbers.
Gotcha.
They don't. Like when I used to watch WWF on Saturday morning, there wouldn't be any good matches. It would be it'd be the good guy against the guy that comes out and he just gets his ass kicked the whole time.
And they were always setting it up for whether it's Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. But now they got the money in the bank. Now everything's
a pay-per-view and
an event. Yeah. Well, no, now it's on ESPN.
It's ESPN?
Yeah, everything.
Oh, because the pay-per-views are on ESPN.
That's correct.
Yeah, I was in SD Jones, Iron Mike Sharp, Don Morocco wasn't a jobber, but he was, like a not very good, great. He wasn't a great wrestler.
Yes, yeah, I was a big-time wrestling fan, and none of those guys are ringing a bell for me. Jake the Snake. I'm
a little bit older than you.
The Rockers, Marty Jannetty. Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Let's go. Demolition.
Killer Bees.
Yeah.
Jumpin' Jim Brunzell.
Roddy Piper.
Well, I think it was Saturday morning. We were supposed to interview Roddy Piper, and the night before they're like, no, he can't do it. They were doing the movie They Live, which is a cult classic that Roddy Piper starred in.
Yes.
They were doing a question and answer, and then they were doing a viewing party at the Troc. Mm-hmm. And Roddy Piper was going to be there to do questions and answers, and then the night before they're like, yeah, he's not going to be able to do it. And then he died later that year.
Yeah.
Wait, when he hit Jimmy Snuka with the coconut.
Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah.
Ricky the Steamboat Dragon. I saw him wrestle at the CYC in Scranton.
There you go. All right, we need a parody song, champ. Do we have any more to go over, Ray? And I need to know if we because it's going to be hard to beat Andy from Lambertville. Do we agree with that or not? I mean,
Andy's the king right now. Andy literally needs to get
what was the last
a part
one he
of the show.
did? Yeah, I think he is.
He did two.
Yeah, he had the Diana one today, and he had the Ricky one yesterday. The Ricky one yesterday was already the leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And I feel like the only other one that could beat that was the one he did today with the parody song.
Yeah, it was the outfield, Your Love. It was tremendous.
Yeah.
What are we giving away?
Do we have any more? Sixers tickets.
Yeah.
No more? All right. Well, Andy.
Winner.
Andy from Lambertville, you're the winner of 76ers tickets.
Lock them in.
For Sunday against the Bucks, tickets available Sixers.com. Let's get to the YouTube chat recap. Hit me.
It's time for The YouTube Chat Recap.
How about filling us in? Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube Chat Recap.
Hit me.
John is going dumpster diving next to Manhattan Bagel after work, looking for day-old bagel. From D Flyers.
What did I do?
Your look.
Oh, it's a hoodie sweatshirt. It's a nice hoodie. It's a nice color. Is that violet? Purple?
I'm going dumpster diving. This is Bloomingdale's app. I don't know what to tell you.
Ooh, Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, this
Just
sweatshirt's
telling
from
you,
the
I was paying
Bloomingdale's
attention
app.
during that comment.
What type of fabric is it? What do you got over there?
I mean, I don't know.
Stylish.
This is an Old Navy, and if I was wearing an Old Navy sweatshirt,
What's
it'd be
wrong with
fine,
Old
too.
Navy?
Nothing.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be fine too. I'm saying.
Don't go bougie on me.
Dumpster diving, Bloomingdale app. Now it was a good deal on the Bloomingdale app.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Smart man.
All right, what's next?
Sheesh, Billy C., close your nostrils. I think I saw Bat climb in there from If Bayless.
Whoa.
Were his nostrils flaming?
Got big schnoz, Billy?
I mean, yeah, he does.
Okay.
He said it. I'm not saying anything he hasn't said.
Bill's a big dude. I was looking at his shoes, and I wasn't sizing him up, but he's got a big foot. He's got a big foot. He's a big dude.
You were looking at his shoes.
He's got nice Air Maxes on, and they're my favorite style.
But that's not what you were talking about. That he has big feet.
Yeah,
more than he's
I
got.
did look at the feet, and he's a big dude.
We just had established on the show before that you were the foot guy of this show.
Right.
So I was trying to clarify.
Well, right.
Yeah.
And you keep saying he's a big dude.
He is a big dude.
Keep emphasizing that. Did you see him in the bathroom or something? What's going on?
No, but he posted a thirst trap. Remember that?
You clearly do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of at a loss for words.
I'm gonna shut up.
Right? I don't know. I mean, listen, Bill's a handsome guy. Is there some kind of weird thing going on? I know his wife seems to like you on the radio.
Oh,
is there some kind of a situation going on?
We got 3 tickets to Sedona.
Yeah, what is going on? Are you meeting Rossini and Vrabel?
They were the friends just out of frame.
Some kind of cuck situation going on? What's going on?
What happened?
By the way, I wanted nothing to do with this.
Just get good shoes. The nice Air Maxes.
All right. What's next?
Marks is dressed how I imagine Mad Mike does when he's going to the mailbox for his latest Hustler magazine. From J.M.
I mean, listen, I'll take it into consideration. I was looking for something casual but still warm today because it's chilly out, and I went into the closet and I went with the purple hoodie.
Yeah, that's a big, always topic of conversation in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm just a little bit there's
sweatshirts, nice sweatshirt.
It wasn't really an inflammatory outfit choice by you.
It was not.
Looks good on you.
There are days you walk in and I'm like, that's going to be on the YouTube chat recap.
And I have to know that today was not one of the days that I thought my attire was going to be critiqued on the YouTube. Yeah, look at Sean.
I'm wearing a fish shirt. Flyers, let's go.
Sean's got a fish flyer shirt on and nothing about his
shirt. Come on, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Most I could say about your outfits, you look like you're going to the skate park after this.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. Yeah. All right, what's next?
Rossini is the female version of Ray from Money Mar.
That's true, Ray?
Ooh. No. I wanted that off the record. Erase from the record. That's not true.
Yeah, there's a fine
line.
There's a fine line between being promiscuous and cheating on a spouse. You're single.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're single.
Fine
exactly.
line.
All right. What's next?
Phil 2? Whole city should be renamed Bricetown, PA at this point.
YouTube chat not thrilled that Martelli is a Bryce guy.
Yeah, Bryce guy. Had his back.
Right.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd take a shot at Dombrowski. He didn't want to do that. I can understand that.
He did take a shot. You just didn't appreciate the shot that he took.
Yeah, Otto Kemp. Yep. What are the odds? Phil Martelli, unsolicited, he had to get the rip of Otto Kemp. Listen, I'll take it on the chin today. Hadn't been a great start to the season. He got a home run. At least I could be happy about it and play the drop. I can't play the drop or a T-shirt. Who's going to wear that? Why would I wear a T-shirt? You can't even field the position.
Yeah, you need the home runs to start coming.
Yeah, he might be in AAA soon.
For who?
I don't know.
Somebody that can play left field?
Catch.
I mean, he's got to field the position. You don't have to be good, but you can't not catch.
It can be a liability.
Yeah, and that's what he looks like in left field right now. Yeah, I'm hurting today. Coming up next, Bill Colarulo, no Ricky Bo, Bill Solo with a bunch of great guests, including Jason Stark at 2:40. See you.